We're live. What's up, guys? Sorry, we were paying attention to chat. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Mod Mondays. I am here with, oh my gosh, I've been waiting so long for this. We're finally together.
We're finally together.
We have known that this was going to be a thing for a while. And then, so just to give a little backstory, Covent actually reached out to me. It was probably, like midsummer. June.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the date. He's like, I've got it tracked. No.
I got the date because we were in the process of moving into a new house.
That's right.
And I was like, we're getting ready to move, and I really want to get another PC. And I'm like, I'm not that good at building PCs. And he lives in Washington, I live in Washington, and I hit him up, and then we put this thing in motion.
Yeah, and to be clear, we live in Washington, like right near each other. So it's like we're very, very close. So anyway, he reached out and he's like, hey, Robey, I want to build a PC. And I was like, oh, dude, we should have you on the show and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, wait a minute, like, you're pretty awesome.
Thank you.
And I was like, hey, you're pretty awesome. And they like awesome people on Mod Mondays.
Yeah.
What if we could get you on Mod Monday?
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, that sounds rad. How long is that going to take? Well, it's going to be September 13th. So that tells you about how long it basically got us to get on there. But we are here.
We're here.
We're not only that, or we're also getting, this is the first time we've got to hang out with AORUS and my good friend from the past. Yeah, we got AORUS up here on there, which is great. So we'll talk about the parts here in a minute. But also my good friend who I used to work with at Newegg is here too. So Mike, I get to see, I'm seeing him off on the side. So it's like a reunion of like all these friends, which is absolutely awesome. So excited to get to do this, excited to get to hang out with Covent. Let's talk first, before we start getting into introductions and all that sort of stuff, let's talk first about the parts we're putting inside of this PC, because they literally gave you like the most awesome PC.
I'm excited.
So
I'm
CPU,
excited.
We're using the Intel 11900K, which is like the top end, highest end Intel CPU you can put.
Yeah, I saw that back there. I was like spying on the parts.
Up as you sit there like, oh my gosh, how much money am I? No, I'm just kidding. It's not going to be that bad. These are all efficient.
Actually?
Yeah, it's unreleased.
Oh, that's so
yeah,
cool.
you're like, this is your first like your unreleased PC product.
This is so exciting.
Yeah. So, and again, we had some storage, obviously, by Crucial, some RAM by Crucial as well. We love that ballistics RAM. So this should be a super good build. And I've also been told, based on murmurings, that the clicks for the RAM should be good. So we'll have to go and make sure that the clicks sound good. So I know people are really excited. But I kind of got ahead of myself. I've been talking almost the entire time. Let's let Covent do a little introduction, because there are a lot of people here who don't know who you are.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for talking. Anyway, guys.
Hi, my name is Covent, Chris Covent. I've been gaming literally my whole life. My first video game I can remember playing was probably Mario Bros. With my dad. And then it wasn't until I started playing Halo where I went to my first LAN party and I got addicted to the trash talk and the shooter format that I kind of like, it changed my destiny. So years of streaming, years of gaming. I was a Mixer celebrity, turned Twitch partner, and now here we are. You know, that's a very short version of me. I like that you use the term Mixer celebrity. It was still a Mixer partner, but honestly, Mixer was a journey both in you and I had taken together. At the same time, I was working at Microsoft. I was also I had dabbling in Mixer partner, obviously, just because it's important for our job. But that's how you and I met initially. Was getting to do stuff like that, and so that was like a large part of our initial connection. And like you said, the rest is history. Like we became our relationship blossomed. Like your shirt. Thank you.
And then from there we grew and grew together. Yeah, and you're posing so well. And I'm excited because we have so much, unlike sometimes these things where you meet strangers and you're like, oh, what are we going to talk about for?
No, we got natural energy.
Oh yeah,
we got natural energy. It just feels good. Feels comfortable. Like I just want to get a little closer, you know.
And on top of that, we have 3+ hours. Now I'm getting to play a brand new game as well tonight. So this is not like the last. If you guys tuned in the last episode, we were obviously here with ZHC, which was huge. We had that incredibly awesome painted Razor, but we didn't get to play any games. This time we're playing a game, and you've spent some time.
I grinded this throughout all of August.
So for those people who don't know, why don't you do a brief introduction to what they can expect after we do the PC?
Okay, so after we're done building the PC, we're going to be playing a game that a lot of people in chat know. It's called Splitgate. It's essentially classic Halo meets classic Portal. You get your guns, you spawn in, you portal behind your enemy, you get a flank, you shoot them, and you repeat.
Yeah.
So it's got really good core shooting mechanics. It's free to play. available on everything. Cross-play, cross-progression, great game. I love it.
Okay, so we're gonna, and I've never played this, so again, everybody knows how absolutely phenomenal my gaming skills are. So
I've heard you're the best.
that is the best at entertaining people while I play terribly, I think is the way that we basically go from there. And on top of that, I also heard that AORUS has a couple surprises for us that are going to happen during the stream, not just the giveaways, because we'll talk about that here in a minute, but we're going to get to see some pretty amazing AORUS hardware as well that we'll be showing off halfway through. So guys, it should be a really great episode, super awesome individuals. The studio's packed with just great people, so I expect great energy, lots of PC building, lots of gameplay, and lots of just little fun things that are going to happen during Monday.
There's a lot of good energy in the room. It feels good.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited to be here.
Yeah, and the one thing I did want to, there is one thing that I'd like to see a vote, Blondie, if you could put it up there. There's a big debate going on here in the studio, having nothing to do with any of this stuff, but if we could just find out if people prefer EK water block fittings or bits power fittings, if we could just get a vote up on that, that would be great.
So what does that mean? You got to explain that to
No,
me.
we'll talk about it later.
Okay,
We're just going to go from there. But let's talk about the more important stuff. Let's start the build. Oh, let's talk about giveaways first, because people are probably pretty excited about that.
Yep.
Hey, can we get, so let's talk about what we're going to be doing and doing giveaways here. I want to see Robey play Fallout. Oh, that'd be pretty fun. I'm actually pretty good at that, because it's
Fallout?
Fallout.
How would we play that? Like?
Well, we wouldn't. I mean,
Okay.
together, we can play Fallout 76 together.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're gonna play a different game. So let's go for that. So we do have some amazing giveaways, including this Gigabyte and AORUS. Which is, for those people who don't know, the same company. This is the Elite brand. But we have this really awesome, check these out. Have you seen these?
No, I haven't seen these.
So we're going to be giving these away as part of our giveaway packages here.
So are these just like little action figures?
They're like little action figures. You have a robot that you can put together. So if maybe you may not be able to build a PC with Robeytech, but you can actually build a robot here. We're not going to build this on the show. Maybe we will. Who knows? I mean, anything can happen here on Mod. I'm trying to get it so you guys. Oh, there we go. So there you go. We got that awesome robot there that you can basically build.
This is like a helmet.
Yeah, and then that's a helmet.
This is a
Now,
helmet.
I was like, people were saying, like, should we put it on? But then again, like, who wants to put it on after we put it on our head? But there is a helmet as well that you can also win as part of the giveaways we're going to be doing. Now, the way the giveaways are going to work is that we're going to be giving you guys code words, and over the course of the entire show, and those code words are things that you're going to be basically put into a Gleam. You can see all of that stuff over on Intel's channel. You can see it over Covent's channel, my channels as well. We'll have those things. We'll give you guys the codes, and then you put those in, and then Intel will reach out to you later on if you were the one who actually ended up winning. So that's kind of how that whole thing's going to go. But I think to get things really kicked off, I think we should just go ahead and start building. What do you think?
Yeah. This one's really cool.
I like
the contrast.
I like the yeah, with the blue
eyes, the blue eyes,
but the pink, I don't know. I just like
it pops.
I mean, it pops. I mean,
Yeah.
like again, I really like the pink one. Luckily they actually sent me some of these as well, which is pretty cool. So we've actually have one of the. They have a name. Oh, Chibi. Chibi, right? Yeah, Chibi is the name of the figures. And so we've actually had some of these on our set over at Robeytech. So these are pretty cool. Yeah, so you have to be 15 or older. So basically, it says on here.
Choking hazard.
It's a choking hazard. So if you're trying to put this in there, so Covent, you can't have one.
Oh, okay.
We know about you. No, just kidding. Okay, let's pop this over here. There's the helmet. Okay, so what you need to grab.
Okay.
Let's grab our motherboard. We're going to grab all the components we need for this right here. So we've got our motherboard. We've got our CPU.
Okay.
We've got our Crucial and Intel NVMe SSD. Okay, so again, so just to give you guys an update for people who may not know what it is. So this motherboard is basically everything is going to kind of plug into this, and this is what's going to kind of make the PC function. This is like your brain right here, which is your CPU. And then we have our storage. So this is like where all your memories are, so to speak. And so these are fast. These are the Intel 670p NVMe SSD. We've got 1 terabyte here, and we've also got a Crucial P5 1 terabyte as well. And then the last thing we're going to add is we're going to add this as well, and that is your Crucial Ballistics RAM. So this is going to be RGB, which obviously anytime you have RGB, that makes things a billion times a billion times faster.
It makes it more gamer friendly.
It makes it more gamer friendly, and it also is going to run
part of the
so
flair.
much faster. And then this is obviously, everybody wants to hear this click as loud as absolutely possible. So this is just something that sets like the precedent. When we install it, you'll see.
Okay.
So this is everything.
That's the coveted click.
That's the coveted.
About.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the coveted click. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and pop that over? Okay, and so starting it off, let's do code number 1. And the first code is Covent.
Oh, I'm a code?
Look at that. Yeah, you're a code. And then you can see right there, we're giving away 10 900Ks. We're giving away 10 850Ks. Wow, I love those CPUs.
That's a really good giveaway.
And then you've got a 660p, the 660 512, and then we've obviously got the 2 of the Intel Gamer Days swag kits that you also get with those CPUs, and then we talked about that Gigabyte set swag kit or AORUS swag kit. Wow, that's like tongue twister.
Yeah, that is a really good giveaway.
Okay.
Am I busting this whole thing
You're
out?
gonna take it. You just pull this out. Yeah, just go ahead and take that out. There we go. Don't be afraid. If it doesn't work, they won't replace the part. So that's why is it being so hard? There you go. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there it is. So
Ooh,
then
this
we
has
put.
got some weight to it.
Oh yeah, it's hefty.
Oh, hefty.
Okay, we're gonna stick this right here because that's where all your extra stuff is gonna go.
Compared to my motherboard on my very first PC built, that is a monster.
Yes.
Like my first one was very thin and flimsy. It barely had anywhere to plug in. Very cheap.
Yes.
Very cheap.
This
It was like
is-
a Micro Center chip.
This is definitely not cheap. Oh, everybody loves a Micro Center trip. So this is the Master. They have the Elite, and they have some of the other ones. So this is like definitely like the obviously the Extreme is kind of their high end, and then they have the Extreme Water Block, which is like their high end one. But again, you can just look at the thickness here, like the level, like the VRMs. This is the stuff that's going to let you do overclocking. You've got 2 8-pin EPS CPU power connectors.
Ooh.
Should you decide to get into that and level up, so to speak. And then of course we've got support. Looks like for 3 M.2 drives. And then, of course, you've got your dual channel. The other thing, too, that's really great is you've got this right here. This is like if there's an issue with the board, you'll basically get indication of what that is. Or you can do stuff like set it to like CPU temp.
So that's like a error code right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's actually really
it's pretty
smart.
cool. But now, the fun part is you see all these plastic things.
I was just going to say, do I get to peel?
You get to peel, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it going.
Oh.
Look at that. It's a good peel. You didn't quite get it all off here.
I see that. Ooh. Oh, man. Is there more?
Yeah, yeah. There's some down here.
Oh, we got some here.
Yep.
Oh. We got one more?
Yep. And then I think there should be one, if I'm not mistaken. Nope. It looks like I am mistaken.
Oh, that was nice.
Cool. There you go. Okay. So and then there's none and the I/O shield. Okay. So there's that. Okay. This is your CPU.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab our little knife.
Oh, beautiful.
Pop this open. Okay.
Be careful.
Don't cut away. There we go. Cub Scouts are like yelling at me right now. What's going on, Robey? Okay. So put that in there for later. Okay, so what you're gonna do is this is a tension arm.
Okay.
You're gonna pull it out, and then you're gonna lift this whole thing up.
Oh, I'm doing this?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, dude. This is the way you want to do it. I want you at the very end of this to feel like you built this PC.
And pull this whole thing
Yeah,
out?
pull that whole thing up. There it is. You've unlocked that.
Okay.
Like you gotta. It's like Doom right now.
Okay.
You gotta put the blue key in the blue slot, so to
Okay.
speak. Okay. So the way that this works,
I don't see any blue.
it's blue because it's Intel. That's
Okay.
where we're gonna go with that. The way this is gonna work is there's 2 little dimples on each side.
Okay.
And there's 2 dimples right here. So you're just gonna set it in just like that. Yeah, it's just grabbing it from the side and you're just gonna set it in just like that. And then just wiggle it a little bit.
Okay.
Does it sit? Feel
No,
like
it's in.
That's
It's
good. Okay,
sitting.
there you go. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna reverse. This goes underneath that screw, and then you're gonna put that tension arm back in. So get it all the way underneath. Push it back. Oh, no, just go like this. There you go. Now
okay.
put that thing.
Oh,
Keep
this
going.
is terrifying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me.
And then slide it.
Oh.
And then that's good. That's
that's
actually
supposed to happen?
That's supposed to happen. I just like doing that because this is what happens every time.
I was so terrified.
And it's broken. Great.
Well, because there's a lot of
Show's
tension.
canceled.
There's a lot
No,
of
it's
tension
fine. No,
in that
you're
arm.
fine. No, you're okay.
And I'm like, God, I don't want to break this. That's not funny. That's not funny.
I thought it was hilarious.
I was like, I'm fired. This isn't good. So do I still do anything with this arm?
You're going to put it all the way under and then slip it back under. It's going to be quite tough, and then slip it under, so kind of out and under.
Okay. Oh, man, this is terrifying to me.
Here, I'll hold the thing for you.
Okay.
There you go.
Woo.
Congratulations, you've installed a CPU.
Oh.
But again, these have to have a lot of pressure to basically make sure all the pins make connections and all that sort of.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, now
that wasn't funny though. That wasn't funny.
Okay, let me ask chat. What do you guys think? Did you think that was hilarious?
Chat loved it.
Oh yeah, of course they did.
Chat loved it.
Yeah, even look, Mike's over there saying thumbs up.
Yeah,
so It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Physical comedy is the best.
I wonder if they had a little bit of panic too.
No.
They're just like, oh my God, Covent just broke it.
Maybe, the funny thing is like, there's enough people who probably repeat watch this show with other people that have done that too, that are like, oh, wait till it. But then for your audience, which that's one of the things I really enjoy about doing this, is that a lot of people who've never been exposed to something like this get to come and see something like this. And so, yeah.
I mean, we do share a good chunk of people.
Yeah.
Like, they will come over after you're done, and they'd be like, they tell me about your latest build, or they're like, oh my God, did you see the 30K build that he did, or something like that? Or they were real excited leading up to this because they were like, it's a lot of people. They're like, oh my God, I can't wait to see you on there. You and Robey, your energy, it's going to go well together.
And it is. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up, this is the clicks.
Okay.
This is important. Everybody knows how important this is, because if the clicks suck, the build sucks.
Oh, don't say that.
I know, but that's what they're saying in chat right now. And so,
okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop these up. And these are the two slots we're going to put this, okay? So everybody says, here comes the best part of the stream, or the worst.
Oh, man.
It's going to be fine. Okay, we're just going to drop these out like waffles.
I chugged a Red Bull before this.
Yeah.
And now you're giving me my heart's like, oh.
Okay, so let me show you what I'm going to do.
All right.
So there's a little slot in what this is called a printed circuit board right here.
Okay.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're just going to take this, and oops, it looks like, this is better, because there's two of them.
Okay.
Oh, that's better for clicks. And what you're going to do is you're going to slide this in. I'm going to do the first one, and you're going to do the second one, okay? So I'll get it set, and then you're going to go like this. Right? You guys ready? Quiet on the set. Oh, that was good. That was a good click. I'm getting thumbs up from people around. That was actually a solid click, Covent.
That was a good one?
That was a solid click. Were you expecting louder?
I was expecting a little louder.
Okay.
Well, because so recently, on Saturdays, we do like a just chatting day.
Yeah.
And I've gotten into back cracking videos and chiropractic videos. Like oh man, it's so satisfying. So I was expecting like some like massive click, but that was good. That was good.
And on the scale of 1 to 10, people were like saying, yeah, that was like a good click again, we don't want to snap the motherboard. So,
right.
Okay, so now you're up.
Okay.
Okay.
And am I going where you? Oh, you're slotting it for me.
You go ahead, dude.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead. You're gonna slide it in just like that. Yeah, it just goes in like that. Okay. Okay, and then you're gonna put thumbs on both sides and then give it a pressure. Ready?
Oh God, this is terrifying, actually.
Okay, ready? 3, 2.
Oh God, I'm scared.
You can do it. 3, 2, 1. Click! That was good.
No, it's not.
Why didn't you put it in?
It's not clicking.
Oh my gosh, you just.
Oh God, it's terrifying. You're like, this build right here is so expensive and beautiful, and I'm just like, my hands
I was like ready
shaking.
to give you like an emphatic click support, and you weren't even. You're just. Okay, we're gonna do that again.
Okay.
You got to do that right.
Yeah,
Come on.
I didn't realize how much, because I saw you, like your arms flexed a little bit. I was like, man,
it's a lot of Orange Theory, you know. I work out. Okay, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Keep going. Push. Okay.
Oh, that's still terrifying.
Take a lap.
You don't want it to, you don't.
Take a lap. Oh my gosh. Okay, everything. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do this again. No, we're not. We're moving forward.
No, we gotta move.
We could spend like 2 hours just having you work on clicks, but you know what?
I'd be a click master. The click commander.
The click commander.
By the time we're done.
We're going to work on that. We're going to have you over to the studio. I'm going to set out like 80 or 90 pairs of RAM, and we're just going to work on it. It's going to be like straight.
I'll be a speed clicker.
It's going to straight up be like Rocky. Like, you know, we could have like that Rocky song playing the whole time. You're like,
can we 80s montage?
Yeah, like 80s montage. Yeah. Dude, that is who would sign up for that? Let me just like, yeah, exactly. People would be all over that like a boss. Okay, so now we're going to put in, these are your hard drives.
Okay.
Have you ever seen these before?
No.
These are fun. These are fun. These are good time. What I'm going to have you do now
Okay.
is you see these screws.
Okay.
You're going to remove all of them with the Fun
okay.
iFixit kit. And sometimes they'll come out, sometimes they won't. Okay, there we go. Okay, that one's probably out, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it's like they're weird, and then when you're done, cool. And then try and lift up on that one. Okay, this one probably can come out a little bit more. Ooh. There we go. Yeah, so that one's going to come all the way up. Yeah, that comes all the way up.
Boom.
There we go. Yeah, now try and lift it up.
Oh,
Okay, so there's that one.
So
Okay.
what is that you're pulling?
This is the heat spreader for basically, so this thing is this dissipates the heat off the hard drives.
Okay.
Now go ahead and remove the other one. So once we get all 4 of those, then you should be able to pull that up. Some are going to come out.
These are going to stay, right?
It depends.
These
Yes,
are gonna come all the
these
way
should
out.
come out. This should stay. Yes.
Okay.
These are called captive, and these are not captive.
Okay.
And captive means that the screw doesn't come all the way out. There you go. That's and it's just going to stick like
I
that.
got it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Did it actually come out?
It did.
Oh wow. Okay.
You want to keep these all
Yeah,
here?
just keep them all there. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll put them back. And it's like it's kind of a guess. It's almost like a guessing game, guys. We get to learn if they're captive or not. Cool. Out. Boom. And these are always like tiny screws. Tiny screws in my AORUS motherboard. So you kicked things off when you're with like your whole gaming career with Halo.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about that. Like, how did you get into Halo? Was it introduced to you by your father? Like,
No.
was it divine inspired?
It was
like you were sleeping one
so
night.
I was a devout PlayStation fanboy.
Okay.
Like I had PlayStation underwear, PlayStation pillow. I had everything PlayStation. And my friend Peter, one of my best friends growing up, brought his Xbox over.
Okay.
And I was like, how dare you, you traitor. But he plugged in 2 games.
Okay.
And these games changed my life. The first one was Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, and
I'm
which
a
they're now
huge-
remaking.
Which they're now remaking. And so like he knew, that's how he introed me to Xbox. Because he's like, Chris, Mr. Covent, I know you're a Star Wars fan. He's like, play
Just
this.
play this.
And so I played like 3 hours of KOTOR, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I went dark side first.
Okay.
I went dark side first, so I could get the red lightsaber.
Right. Yep.
Played that, and then he's like, okay, now we're gonna play a co-op shooter. Because PlayStation didn't really have any co-op shooters.
Well, yeah, and I mean that was one of the things that like Halo innovated in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay.
And so he handed me a controller, and he had a controller, and he plugged up Halo CE, which is Halo Combat Evolved, and he co-op campaign.
Okay.
And I was infatuated. The kill animation, sniping, and he's like, okay, now we're gonna 1v1. And he absolutely destroyed me, which kind of like triggered my inner competitive gamer.
Right.
And I was like, because I was a sweaty GoldenEye kid. I'm
Right.
not gonna lie, like, I was pretty good at GoldenEye. And so the very next day, I contacted my grandma. This is gonna age me. I contacted my grandma and I was like, hey grandma, you know how I got like A's and B's and a couple C's? I had to slip the C's in. I had to be honest. I'm not good at math. And she's like, yes, sweetie. And I was like, can we go to Funko Land? And I'm gonna trade in all my PlayStation stuff, and then you pay the rest to get me an Xbox? And she's like, how much should it be? And I'm like, oh, I was like, Grandma, Funko Land gives great amounts of rebate for selling your stuff to them. She's like, okay. Turns out Funko Land, GameStop didn't give us any money for it.
Oh wow.
They gave us like $50.
Whoa.
Like $50.
Yeah, that sounds about
but
right.
I have a good grandma, so she bought an Xbox for me, and she bought me KOTOR and Fusion Frenzy and Halo. And so I went home, I started practicing, because I was like, I'm not losing.
Right.
And so then the very next weekend, I went to my first LAN party.
Oh wow. Okay.
My very first
wow,
LAN
you
party.
jumped right into it.
I jumped right into it. Well, because I come to find out, like where I lived in Michigan, we had a huge local Halo scene. And so I lugged my big TV all the way to my buddy Peter's house. It was in his basement, and there was like 12 of us. And like, I still remember sitting down, and I remember like just getting no-scoped, and like the dude behind me just stood up, and he's like, can I swear?
No.
No. He's like, get pooed on! Get pooed on! You suck! And I was like, oh my God. And then I did it to him, and I was like, oh my God, I get to do it now. And I'm like, you suck, Tile! You suck! And I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun. And then I was addicted.
And that was it.
addicted. It was the trash talk plus the, I mean, Halo. It was Halo like gameplay.
Yeah, such a great experience. And so in all, that was the
jump.
That was the jump from moving over. Now you didn't, like, people don't know this, but you actually did go to university.
Yeah, I graduated college. A lot of people don't know that because like when they see a live streamer, they just assume like, here's some guy that he just plays video games. But so it actually, I went to college. I went to community college, then back to university, then back to community college. But, and I say this proudly, but like 8 years later, I finally graduated.
Right.
And I say 8 years because I enjoyed my 20s. You know, I enjoyed partying, I enjoyed concerts and festivals. And so for me, there was no rush to graduate as long as I graduated.
Right.
And so I tried to tell that to people that enjoy your youth, you know, but time is gonna pass by anyway. Just make sure you have something to show for it, you know, after you've grinded.
Right, and so you ground out college, and you went to university for what?
I've gone, well, shoot. So I originally went to university because I really loved politics.
Okay.
And I really wanted to get into politics, but the more I studied political science and politics, the more I was like, man, that's just, like, I love the speaking aspect, and I love the being able to change the world aspect, but I didn't like that most politicians kind of lose themselves to cater to others. So I switched my major from politics, to then I started to get lazy, so I went to communications, which we all do. We do a philosophy communications, but then we realized, oh man, I can't get a job with those degrees. So then ultimately I switched it to business and marketing. Okay. And that's what I graduated with.
Okay. And then that actually fit. But before we get into that, let's have you install these M.2s.
Oh, God.
Okay, so here we go. These are actually pretty simple.
Okay.
Okay, I'll show you the top one and then you'll do the second one. So there's a little slot in the PCB, again, printed circuit board. Just gonna pop it in just like that. And then I'll have you install that one.
So is this the correct way?
Yeah, just the correct, just like that. And it's gonna go right in there, and you can see there's a little slot there that just kind of lines in, and just give it a pretty good push. Don't be afraid. There you go, just like that. Okay, now, these are like the other world's tiniest screws. What I'm gonna have you do is take this and you hold it down and you screw that right in there. And these are your hard drives.
Oh, that is crooked.
Yeah, use the screw to get it out. There you go. And it's magnetic, so it should hold okay. And guys, just so you guys know, we did peel it already, so it's all peeled. And go in. There we go. There it is. Okay, and then grab the second one.
That was clean.
Yeah, it's always nice, right? It just pops in.
I knew I should not have crushed that Red Bull. I was like, I just want to be high energy for talkative purposes. I didn't know my hands needed to be like they're not surgeon ready.
Oh, this is probably the most that you'll have from a like needing to like this most surgical in terms of the putting the build. Okay, now a little bit of some fun peeling parts here. You want to peel that off?
Okay, just the blue?
Yeah, just the blue. There you go.
Ooh, that's nice.
Okay, and then I'm going to pop this back.
I didn't realize there's so much peeling in PC building.
Oh, that's like the fun part.
The clicking and the peeling.
Yeah, it's very tactile. Okay, there we go. That should sit there, and then I'm going to have you peel this one.
Okay.
Basically, now all the thermal pads. So these are what's going to transfer heat between these drives.
Okay. So how come we only peeled the top one and not the bottom one?
Because the bottom one doesn't have a drive in it.
Oh, okay.
So should you want to expand, you have that option, which is something that's pretty cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reset all of these back in here, and then I'm going to have you screw them back in. And you can go ahead and get started with that one. Hopefully I got it in the hole. There we go. Okay, so you like Halo. You like Halo. You've graduated from school.
Yep.
What? Okay, did I not get in the hole?
No, I don't think it's in the hole. It's like college all over again.
Okay, there you go. Okay, try it now. You've graduated. Now, how did you become a streamer?
Okay, there's in there. Line this guy up. So I did competitive Halo for years.
Oh, really?
Like competitive going to tournaments.
Okay.
So to pick up where we left off, grinded Halo 1, Halo 2 multiplayer, and then by the time Halo 3 came out, MLG was like a rising scene.
Right.
So in like everybody, when you grind online shooters, you feel like you're really good until you go to an actual tournament and you're like, oh my God, I'm actually not that good. And so, but it gave me like a Rocky style fire in my heart.
Okay.
And so for the next 7 years, I started traveling around the US and Canada, going to Halo tournaments.
Okay.
And like, I had some decent placings throughout the years, but the most important thing was I got my name out there. I made a lot of friends in the Halo community, a lot of friends in the Gears of War and Call of Duty community. And by the time I hit mid to late 20s, I was kind of getting burnt out.
Right.
Because to play at that high of a level,
You had to play all the time.
you got to play the same game 14 hours a day, and then you got to watch footage, just like a football player.
Right.
You watch footage of the enemy team, you watch footage of your own scrims, and you see what you can improve on. And so I started to get burnt out on that, and I'm friends with you know Golden Boy.
Yeah.
And so I'm friends with Golden Boy and another Halo personality, Walshy.
Yes,
and
I know
they
him too.
said, Covent, you got a good voice and you like to talk, you should try shoutcasting. So
okay.
I shoutcasted a couple Halo tournaments, shoutcasted a couple Call of Duty tournaments, and after that they were like, man, you just love to keep talking. And I'm like, I do, I really love talking. And they're like, you should be a streamer. So I owe my true inspiration for wanting to become a streamer from like Golden Boy and Walshy.
Okay.
You know, they're the guys that were just like pushing me in the background to say, hey, like, you have the gift for gab, you have high energy, you're still really good at shooters.
This
Move
should be.
that on
This will
to
be a good.
streaming.
Okay. And so, did you start your streaming career with Mixer or?
I started my streaming career with Twitch actually. So this was like 2016.
Okay.
This is 2016, and I was using what renown I had in the Halo community. So I was streaming competitive Halo on Twitch, and like I wasn't a big guy or anything. You know, I was
Right.
pulling like 50, 60 viewers on Twitch, and but I heard that Microsoft had purchased their own streaming platform.
Right.
And I thought to myself, okay, I'm playing Microsoft titles.
Right.
I'm playing on the Xbox. Microsoft owns Xbox. And I put two and two together and I was like, I'll just go where they're going. So then I left Twitch. It was actually pretty funny. My most successful stream I had on Twitch back in the day was a 24-hour stream. And I was hosted by all these like well-known personalities. I was averaging like 500 viewers. The very next day, I just ghosted Twitch. I'm not even kidding. The very next day, I put a message up on my Twitch page, and I said, I'm going to Beam, because that's what Mixer was called before it became Mixer. It was Beam. And I switched, and I never looked back. And then it was changed to Mixer, and I kind of, with my personality, I kind of rose to the top pretty quickly.
Right.
You know, and I achieved a lot of success on Mixer. That's where a majority of my followership came from, my community came from, and it was just like I was given so many opportunities that had I not made that decision, I don't think I would have had.
You don't think it would be
No.
because I mean, it was a platform to your success.
Yeah,
Here
absolutely.
as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, for instance, I was flown out to in 1 month. Mixer flew me out to New York City for a Sega launch event with Xavier Woods, famous wrestler, and so I made him as a personal friend. We went out to dinner, we went drinks with him, so friendship with him. And then a week later, I got flown out to LA to record a gaming talk show where they have 4 comedians sit behind gamers.
I remember that show.
It did not go well.
Yeah, it did not. Yeah, I do remember that.
Well, it turns out a lot of comedians don't actually, if they're not gamers, they don't know how to relate.
Yeah.
And so all their jokes were, you're a nerd for gaming. And I'm like, you're pitching this to a gaming website, right? And, but it was a great experience. You know, it was a great experience.
I'm going to hand you these.
Okay.
So these are the brackets that we're going to mount. And so if you guys were watching, I was taking that AORUS water force and I was taking it out and I was grabbing all of the basically mounting stuff so we can mount the cooling bracket to and the cooling plate to the cooling plate to the motherboard. And so what he's got here is I've put on the back plate and he's going to take these screws and you're going to put one little pillar in each one of the 4 corners.
So these right here?
Yep.
Okay.
You can see the little hole. And so that's where we're at right now is we're just
Am
getting...
I screwing these in?
Yeah, you're just going to screw them in until they're like basically finger tight. So all the way down, you're going to do all 4. Yeah, I think that was. I mean, Mixer was such an interesting thing, and it launched a lot of people's careers, right? In terms of just basically as an opportunity and as a direct competitor. And I don't know if many people here from chat know or remember Mixer, but yeah, it's so funny. Like now, more than anything, like I think we have some pretty tight knit. Like a tight-knit community of former Mixer folks who now, I mean, most of us are all over on Twitch now and continuing to do that. Some people have moved to other platforms, and so it's been interesting. How was the transition? I mean, what was that like when Mixer shut down? Like, what was it? What went through your head there?
So to catch you up on a little backstory there, I'm originally from Michigan, as I've said, and I met my girlfriend who's from California on Mixer. We were both live streamers. And we were dating online. And so we dated for actually a couple years, and we were like, hey, we should probably move in together.
Right.
And so Mixer was like, hey, we love you guys. Move out by the studio in Washington. And she's like, well, I'm a California girl. You're not getting me to Michigan.
Right.
She's like, but I will go to Washington because it's West Coast, and West Coast, best coast is what they say.
Yeah.
And so we moved out to Washington, and upon moving out to Washington, COVID hit. So literally within like 4 months of us moving to Washington, COVID hit. And that's where like the opportunities disappeared because everybody was working from home. And so we're still streaming on Mixer. We're still achieving much success. We're still pulling a very high viewer count. And we have Ninja, we have Shroud all on Mixer with us.
Yep.
And we're becoming friends, we're bonding. And then I just remember we re-signed our lease. We re-signed our lease 2 weeks prior, and then we wake up to a tweet from Mixer and Microsoft saying, we loved you guys, thank you for taking your time and growing with us, but goodbye. And I was just like, I was so devastated because in my brain I'm like, oh my God, we just re-signed our lease for another year to live out here, and like, this is my life. These are all my friends. This is my family, this is my community. And like, I was met with like terror. Like my heart sank, I started crying. I actually, like I tweeted something in mid-tears because I thought my life was over, right?
Wow, it was like,
it was bad because like, you don't think like, you understand there's YouTube and there's Twitch out there, but like, we were the underdogs on Mixer.
Right.
We were the underdog story of the little kids who could. And we didn't give up because we liked being underdogs. And so like I remember like I was bawling my eyes out and I wrote a tweet. The tweet actually went kind of viral. It was featured on a bunch of YouTube channels. It was featured on a press article from Business Insider about how heartbreaking this was. But like luckily I had made a lot of connections in my 4 years at Mixer. You know, I was really good friends with Phil Spencer, good friends with just a lot of people in the industry. And so they were like, we'll take care of you. We appreciate what you did for us and the time. And so my connections made some calls to their connections and Twitch partnership, partner manager, and like my heart started to get a little better.
Right.
I was like, okay, I'm going home. I'm going, because like I didn't stream on Twitch very long, but I was a devout Twitch community member.
Right.
I was a moderator for many large channels, Call of Duty pros, Halo pros. And so I had a little purple in my heart.
Right.
I had a little purple in my heart, you know. It was shrouded in blue. And so I was like, okay, well, this is a little bit of light in the darkness. And we rallied as a community and we said, the site is changing, but the people are not changing.
Right.
The people are still here, and we're gonna make this our new home. And honestly, we've been doing well. We've been thriving.
Right.
We got verified on Twitter. The streams have been doing well. The numbers have been doing well.
And so it's been good.
It's been good.
Okay, and then that's like, for those people who don't know, like, it's kind of interesting. I think one of the things I was excited about with having Covent on the show is just, there's not a lot of people who get to go through those kind of transitions, quite frankly, right? And so, which is always like, it's always cool to get to hear those stories and to know that, you know, just because something like that changes doesn't necessarily mean that that's the end for your career.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to hand you the most important screwdriver in the world.
Oh, geez. What is that?
This is Excalibur.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
It. So what I'm going to have you do is there's 3 fans in the front. I'm going to actually have you remove them using Excalibur. So there's screws. I'll actually trade you.
It's like we're compensating for something.
No, we're not. We're not. Don't say that. So I'm going to switch with you. Here you go.
I don't know. I'm
So
kind of lewd. I'm trying to tone it down.
There we go. 4 screws on each one of these, and so go ahead and just
Am
start.
I supposed to do this from here?
Yeah. It's well, I mean, not that far. I mean, just,
But it's so long.
I know, and it just means that you have a lot of movement.
Am I supposed to like get in and like one-hand it?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, what am I removing? I'm distracted.
These 4 screws.
You hand me a big tool.
Yeah, it is a big tool.
This is a big guy. Like, I don't think Chad understands how big this guy is. Like, this is my head, right?
Yeah,
this is my head.
It's pretty massive.
This is massive.
Yeah, it is. It's actually pretty.
Like, I'm intimidated holding this.
Okay, so go ahead and see these black screws. That's what we're gonna take out. Okay, there we go, right there.
It's like a two-hander.
Yep. And then I'll just grab the screws from you as we go through there. It's magnetic as well.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Boom.
Because what we're going to be doing is the AIO we're using is a 360 millimeter AIO, which is a lot of cooling. And so we're going to have to front mount our AIO.
Boom.
So that's what we're prepping for right now.
Okay, and then these top two?
Basically, if there's screws in the front
Oh,
here,
all
yeah,
of
we're
these?
going to remove all. Yeah.
That's a lot of screws.
Yeah, I know. This is the nitty gritty.
Okay.
Get it stretched out. You're getting in. Yeah, exactly.
Gotta
Now
get
we're putting
limber.
you to work. This is what you were brought for.
Okay.
But you're doing so well. Okay, there you go.
I was ready just to keep chatting.
Yeah. Okay, so I know I'm going to put you into a bind here.
Okay.
But what is the best Halo?
Oh, well, it's actually kind of a two-part answer because if you're a true Halo kid, you know that there's the campaign experience.
Yep.
And then the multiplayer experience.
Okay.
So for me, I think the best campaign of all Halo history is Halo 2.
Okay.
Because Halo 2 campaign, it kind of caught up where Halo 1 ended, and they gave you dual wielding.
Okay.
Which was really cool.
Okay.
And then as far as multiplayer, I think Halo 3 had the best multiplayer because Halo 3 is what launched MLG essentially.
Right.
And MLG, which was Major League Gaming for the youngins, and that is what kind of launched esports. You know, MLG Halo and MLG COD and Gears of War helped launch esports. You know,
Right.
that was CSGO and League of Legends. Like, esports started to go mainstream.
Right.
And like there was actually like from MLG you had like T-Squared was on a Dr. Pepper bottle. You had people sponsored by Sour Patch Kids. You had Doritos. You had like all these mainstream sponsors were finally supporting gaming. So it finally was like, oh my God, Mom, I can actually do this for a living.
What did your parents think about when you got into streaming and stuff like that? Were they super supportive or?
Well, the good thing is that I had a really nice job.
Okay.
Right? So I was managing, when I got into streaming, I was managing a franchise of Sprint and Boost mobile stores.
Okay.
So this is where the story gets a little interesting. So the stores were in the greater Flint area of Michigan, which is not a good area.
Okay.
But I was getting paid really well. I was my own boss. I was in charge of hiring and firing and trading and opening new locations of the franchise. And so the pay was good and I got to set my own hours, which made it so if you wanted to be a streamer,
right,
you need to have a flexible schedule.
Right.
So if there was time I needed to take off, I was able to take it off. If there was trips. Now, this is where it gets a little dark. My time working at some of these stores, I was actually robbed at gunpoint.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was robbed at gunpoint to the point where I had to take like a week or 2 hiatus.
Wow.
And so I was like, man, I really hope my stream takes off.
Okay, there we go.
Because, and yes, people are like, why didn't you quit? But the hours and the pay lined up perfectly with what I was doing with my stream.
Right.
And I was like, man, if I just keep plugging away at my stream. So I'd been robbed at gunpoint actually twice. So the second time was the big, okay, I need to get out of here. And at that point, my stream was starting to take off and my numbers were starting to get good. Because I told myself I need X, because anybody can call themselves a full-time streamer, right?
Yep.
But to actually be full-time, this one's kind of stuck here.
Yeah, it'll just come out. There you go.
To be a full-time streamer, you actually have to be able to financially sustain yourself. You know, you can't just say, hey, I stream 40 hours a week and call yourself a full-time streamer. No, you need to be able to financially pay your bills and be, you know, a contributing member. And so once I hit that tipping point where I was at X amount of subs, X amount of tip revenue, I said, okay, I'm quitting this job. And so the owner of my franchise was like, Chris, He's like, you're my main man. He's like, you've opened up 20 different stores for me. He's like, but I saw this coming.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, this is what you were meant to do.
Oh, that's cool. So he was like super supportive.
Yeah, he was super supportive of it. He was bummed because like I was his main man. I opened up all his stores. I got everybody trained up, and like he depended on me. But he said, if this is your dream, this is your goal, you need to pursue it. Stop living my dream.
Right.
And so I was like, thank you. And that's when I really started, because for a while there, I was literally working 40 to 50 hours a week, opening these stores, and then streaming 40 hours a week. And I was only sleeping 2 to 3 hours a day. There was some times, I remember when I was in the early stages of growing my community, there was some times in which I remember I would stream late, because when numbers are good, you don't really want to end.
Right.
You know, and I would stream late, and then I'd be like, oh my God, I gotta open the store. So I would literally open the store, and then I would let the employees in, and then I would nap in the back. Or if I had to stay awake, I would hop in Discord with some of my moderators, and they would just keep me talking to keep me awake.
Right.
And I did that for like a solid year of just 2 hours of sleep, because that's how bad I wanted it.
Right.
You know, and like if you want something bad, you gotta make some sacrifices.
What do you, well, like, let me ask, I mean, this is always a question that a lot of people ask. What do you think would have told you that this wasn't a thing? Like it wasn't gonna work? Like what, do you think it would have been the financial side of it? Do you think it would have been not numbers growing? Like what do you think would have been your KPI? Let's go.
I mean, I see this a lot with a lot of people that want to be streamers. It's, a lot of it's growth. If you are pushing for something after X amount of time and you're not seeing any growth and you're not seeing revenue, like I'm talking livable revenue. Like there's so many people that plug away at being a streamer and they're not getting livable revenue. They're getting like these checks for $500, $1,000, you know, but they don't have bills, so they're like, oh my God, I'm living the dream.
Right.
And so it was just you look at a graph, right?
Yeah.
And you start to see an upward trend, and you start to see more active chatters, you see more community growth, and the big thing is when you're constantly getting messages like, you being live makes my day, or you being there for me has inspired me, or thank you so much for your talk, I'm going back to school again. Just stuff like that. And when you're getting that consistently, you're like, oh my God, this is meant to be.
Okay, well now what's meant to be is for you to put this motherboard inside this case. So what I've done is I've essentially prepped the case. We've taken the fans out. We're gonna be front mounting our AIO, but what I need you to do is, so there's a little, you can see this little square, it goes right in here. And so you're just gonna basically—
Okay, so this is going into there.
Into that slot.
Now is it a down slide?
It's like, so I'll show you.
Okay.
I'll just give you a precursor. So what I do is I'll just basically—
I mean, you can plug that in.
Yeah,
I'm
no. I want to see. I want to see you do it, right?
Oh,
like
God.
I want you to build the PC.
This is expensive right here.
So this is pretty much all of the most. I mean, outside of the GPU, this is pretty much the most important part of the PC.
Okay.
So if you mess it up,
oh God,
it's over.
Thank you.
But hey, let's go.
Okay.
Okay, and so while we're doing this, while we're watching him do this, we're going to do code 2.
Oh, this is kind of heavy.
Okay, so code 2 is going to be Halo, which was a large part of obviously some of the stuff we've been talking about this far. And then just go ahead and scoot it all the way over. And again, you're in for those really awesome giveaways there that you see, like the three 10900Ks, the three 10850s, and then also those 660 NVMe SSDs and that super rad gigabyte sweat. See? Gigabyte sweat kit. There you go. Okay, now we're going to make sure that you're lined up here for the, did we have like, there we go. Oh no, everything's good. You did it great. Perfect. I'm just lining up the screws at this point in time because they can be a little finicky. Okay, now what I'm gonna have you do is there's these little screws.
Okay.
See these?
Yep.
I'm gonna take this crazy screwdriver.
The Excalibur?
The Excalibur.
Okay.
And you're gonna put it in, you see come here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Okay, so I'm screwing these into the actual case itself.
Into the actual case to secure the motherboard. It's these ones.
The little guys.
Yep, and I'll switch with you again. Okay. So you're basically on the other side, so it'll make it a little easier. And so you're going to start and go from there. And then, this is one where
I see why we need this long screwdriver now.
Yeah, it actually helps.
Because you can't really get your other arm in there to stabilize.
Boom. And then screw it till, you don't want to, just screw it till it's tight. You don't need to go any more than that. And what we'll do
is there anything that can be damaged by overscrewing?
Well, I mean, if you really wanted to, yes, you could crack the board, but it takes You're not. You would have to really work out.
Okay.
Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this a little bit just to make sure. Let's do these three first.
Okay.
Just to make sure that it'll hold the rest of it in. Perfect. Just like that. So so the other thing too is I guess the big question is like you were going through this. What was the as you were going through this transition and you're leaving your good job? What was the conversation like with your folks as this was happening?
It was pretty rough at first, because my mom was proud of me. She's like, "Oh my God, you finally finished school and you have a good job." Because parents just for a long time gaming is for kids, right?
Yep.
That's a very common mantra, is that you'll grow out of being a gamer, that you'll hit a certain age, and in which some people do. When you have kids, because I don't have kids,
Yep.
but when you have kids, that takes precedence. And so I had to. It was kind of like a business plan.
Right.
It was kind of like a business plan where I laid out my revenue. I laid out the opportunities that were happening, and I was like, Mom, if I show you financially that I'm okay, then you need to believe me. And she's like, "But why do you need to quit your job?" And I was like, "Well, I want to sleep,
Yeah, there's too much to it at this
Is this
point.
the right hole?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you were in the right place. Thanks for asking.
I try to ask before I put it in the wrong hole.
It's a good call. It's a good call. You want to make sure that you're not just screwing into something that you're not.
I swear.
I'm like,
I
hey,
swear.
well, we were going to use a GPU in this, but now you can't do that because you basically
phrasing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I sat them down and I had them look at and I was very smart about this.
Yeah.
I wasn't living with my parents at the time
Right.
either. But my mom was very adamant, And
so that one's going to go right there.
I showed her my financials, and I showed her my financials from my job, and I was like, I'm almost matching. And I was like, yes, working too, I'm making great money, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And so I said, if I quit my main job and do this, I'm not losing much money. And I'm like, and this is what I want to do. And I would show her the DMs, I would show her the inspirational messages, and she's like, wow, you are actually making a change in people's, because that's what we hope for as streamers,
right.
is that we impact others to better themselves, Of course, there are streamers where it's just gaming,
Yep.
But for me, it's inspiring and motivating others to achieve their best self. All right, where am I going with this one?
Right there.
Okay.
That's awesome. Does your mom show up in your stream every once in a while, or?
So my parents aren't super tech savvy.
Okay.
Their internet usage is limited to emails, Amazon, and Netflix.
Okay.
But they do watch my VODs. I know this because I made a pretty lewd joke one time, and because I like to dabble in dick and fart jokes,
Right.
And so I made a pretty lewd joke, and I got a text message from my mom the next morning. She was like, "Christopher, do you actually talk like that on air, on TV?" And I was like, "Mom, it's okay. We're all gamers." And which is really cool is I have a very diverse community full of people from 10 to 15 all the way up to 70.
Yep.
We have moms in my community, grandparents, grandpas.
We are back, and you are. So, guys, just as an FYI, here's what's happened. So, we've put in the CPU, we've put in the RAM, we've put in the NVMe to 2 NVMe drives. So, we've got the Crucial P5 in there, the 670p. We've got our 11900K installed. Let's actually go ahead and run through the parts real quick, so that way you guys just get an idea of what it is that we're actually putting inside of Covent's PC today, which is who we're joined by. So for our CPU, we're using the Intel 11900K. This is the flash time.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's his thing. That's his.
I'm gonna need that parts list too. 'Cause
Yeah.
everyone's gonna ask me in chat. They're gonna be like, "Hey, what's in your exclamation point PC?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Bro, I don't remember, man."
I think Intel has a Venmo that you can send $200 to, and then they'll send you.
Then they'll send me the list. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Going for there. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. You guys can see we've got the motherboard installed. We're actually going to install it. So we're gonna take these 3 fans that we took off the front, and we're going to be adding them as exhaust. It's going to be it's still going to be a mostly. It's to try and equalize the pressure inside of the case, and just in terms of getting some more air through, which should be absolutely great, and to get some more of that air up through the GPU, through the AIO and into the lower fans of the the GPU by pulling air through. So we're going to be installing those right now, which again, you need Excalibur here.
Okay.
And we're going to have you, I'm going to turn this around like so. And I'm going to have you come over here. And we're going to start screwing these little bad boys in.
So we're just basically reattaching them, right?
Correct. Yep. But we're in their new permanent home. So you've got one, and I'm just trying to get them lined up here.
So I'm curious because I've seen like the builds come with the fans already installed. Why do we move them?
Because we're going to be using the fans that came with the AIO. So these fans are air. These are basically static. These are for moving air.
Okay.
The ones that come with the ones that come with the AIO are what are called high static pressure fans, and they're for pulling and pushing air through a radiator. So they're actually different types of fans. So these are going to do a better job of basically pulling air through.
Is this the correct screw?
That is the correct screw.
Which one am I pulling from?
These are these ones right here.
Okay.
So yeah, and you're just going to start. We're going to line this one in the corner, and the best thing to do is to do this corner and this corner first, and then we'll get the two fans mounted, and then we'll do that next. There you go. And these are going to be a little bit tougher because they're grippy screws for sure. Don't tighten it quite all the way yet.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. And then go ahead and do the other one in the bottom corner. Now, usually when you see people do fans like this, guys, for people who don't know, a lot of times when we'll do this is usually with air coolers. The main reason being is just to push air up and through. But it's still a good idea just from a static pressure standpoint, right? Negative pressure from an airflow certain airflow cases, it just has a tendency to work better with more airflow for our GPUs. So we're going to do this corner up here.
A little higher.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay, and then the bottom left corner as well.
So how do you do this by yourself? You have to grip with one?
Yeah, it's just again, this is like it's like a skill. It's like co-op gaming versus solo. Like a lot of times it's just doing this so.
I mean, it's so much better doing it with another person.
Yeah, and again, it is. It's
the
a lot of fun.
hands make it so much easier.
It does, and there's some times where I have like awkward. I've learned to like bend my body in contortionist type ways to do things like top mount AIOs, etc.
Like gaming yoga.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is, and it's made me a fitter and stronger human being. So let's. The other thing too is we were talking about it. Was something that I saw in chat a little bit early on, and I think a lot of people like to have these questions. Is if somebody decided, hey, Covent, I'm going to get into streaming today.
Okay.
I'm gonna I want to be Covent.
Okay.
Which is impossible. I mean, it's just not something you could do. So you, first of all, change to be something else.
Okay.
Be yourself. That would be the first bit of advice. Don't be Covent because we can only deal with one of those. The second one is like, what would be some of the advice that you would give somebody who was getting into streaming now?
Well, the first thing I would ask them is, why are you getting into streaming? Because you always got to ask why.
Okay.
Like, what is your motivation? Are you doing it because you want to make money? Are you doing it because you just want to be seen gaming? Are you doing it because you're trying to get out of your shell?
You're going to use the same four and just do the same thing.
So I like to always, because that question actually gets asked quite a bit. And sometimes I will ask how old they are, because it seems like a lot of younger generation wants to get into it because they see the glitz and the glamour.
Right.
But they don't see the work that goes in behind the scenes.
Am I got it lined up? It looks like it's not.
A little higher. There we go.
So what are some of the when you think about that, let's give them the answers to the questions, the answers to the test. What are some of the good answers, the things that you would like to hear if somebody said, hey, I was going to get into streaming?
Oh, okay. So some of the good answers where I could see that it's going to be a good fit is that they already have a job. They have actual revenue coming in. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that when you start streaming, you're not going to see real revenue for years.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of cash flow. Is that lined up? Let me see. I don't think I'm going to get that in there.
Okay, does it need to go down?
Yep, right there. Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because for instance, with my audio equipment and my camera equipment, I've been doing this for years now. I've invested like $15,000 into it, And so I asked them, do they have cash flow? Do they have a job to finance this? Because you don't want them to just be grinding something without money.
Right.
You can't just piggyback off your parents your whole life. And so if they start checking the boxes and they're like, yeah, I got a good job, I always tell them, what's their target here? Do they want to become an affiliate? Do they want to become a Twitch partner? And then once we lock in on a target, I'm like, okay, some things that have helped me are, I think the hardest thing about being a streamer and growing as a streamer is community building. A lot of people think it's pulling the viewers, but once you get the viewers, how do you get the viewers to become friends with each other?
Right.
Because that's what a community is. It's not just a bunch of fanboys. It's real people interacting with each other and becoming friends with each other. And what makes it so hard is because we're all different people. You know, whatever your race is, your gender, your religious beliefs, you take all of that and you want them to, okay, now be friends under my house. You know, this is House Covent, and now I want you guys to be friends and help me create something special. Because it takes a group to create a community like that. And so I asked them, because I notice a lot of times people struggle to be streamers when they're very introverted. Because it's hard sometimes to be entertained by an introvert. Because they're just sitting there, you know, very shy. And you can do it. You can be introverted and grow.
You still got more screws.
Oh, geez.
I know. There's a lot of them that go into builds.
There's a lot of screwing there.
There is. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do code number 3, by the way, guys. Bringing up code number 3. And the code is Z590 AORUS Extreme, which is one of their absolutely phenomenal high-end motherboards. And so actually use that in one of my builds, one of our basically big builds, which is absolutely cool. So I love that board, and it's like pretty crazy. So Z590 AORUS Extreme is the next code as well. I mean, maybe the next one will make it screwing, because that's how much we would just do that all the time. Okay, and then, so what are some of the bad answers? I mean, I think some people could probably go to that, but like people who like you really like, you know, like all in all, like I'm in it to make the mad money, bruh.
No, you will get that.
Yeah.
You will, because I mean, let's be real, that is actually a lot of people's innate nature. Right? Human nature is we tell people what they want to hear. Right? They tell me what I want to hear. But like when I'm in the mood, I'm like, no, man, what's your real reason? And a lot of it comes down to I want to make money playing video games, or I want to make a quick buck. And so then I have to reality check them and be like, hey, man, this isn't a quick buck.
No, it's
you may get donations, you may get a couple subs, but those fall off, you know.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me sometimes when I keep getting asked like 9 times a day, hey, I want to be a streamer with some stream advice. It starts to wear you down as a person because you're like, I didn't get into streaming to teach others to stream.
Right.
You know, I got into streaming to entertain and inspire others.
Okay.
And so a lot of times you have to, you rally your tools on YouTube. And you're like, hey, check out this YouTube video or check out this guy. They do a lot of good instructional tutorials. But at the end of the day, I mean, the best advice is, you know, get the right equipment, but don't overdo it. Some people think they want to go balls to the wall and just drop thousands of dollars on stream equipment. But then what happens when you have all this stream equipment and you find out it's not for you?
Yeah, you've basically just wasted a ton of money.
And not only that, but like the whole streaming industry as a whole is so competitive.
Right.
I associate streaming sometimes to being an actor, right? You move to LA because you want to be a famous actor. But the rarity of you actually being a famous actor is so hard that most people end up just becoming bartenders or realtors out in the greater LA area.
Right.
You know? And so I tell them that, like, yes, while you're being a streamer, one of my favorite ways to talk about this is I say, okay, in my left hand, I have your stream goal. In my right hand, I have your actual moving life. And I said, you have to make sure your life keeps going forward, because if you spend 10 years trying to be a streamer and you get down the road and you've achieved nothing, you're gonna be hitting your 30s with, you know, no education or no trade skill, because trade schools are viable, good jobs. And you're gonna look at your life and you're gonna be like, man, I have all these memories, but now mom and dad are kicking me out and I have no plan.
Right.
And so I always tell people that don't give up living life just to be a streamer. You know, make sure you keep pushing forward, make sure you keep improving yourself as a person, because one of the scariest things to me about being a streamer is you could wake up one day and it's just done.
Yep.
You know, you could put your whole life into this. And
you almost had that, like when you had the Mixer thing,
yeah,
right? Like
I almost had that. That was, I had 4 years in Mixer. I had 220,000 follows on Mixer, 5 million views. I was one of their poster boys.
Right.
They literally made me an ad for E3. My face was on like the billboard.
Right.
It was on a billboard, and I was like, this is the future. And so like, you wake up one day and it could just be over, and if you don't have a backup plan, then you're just moving in with your parents.
Right.
And you don't want that when you're an adult.
Nobody wants that, right?
Yeah, like your parents love you, but I mean like...
They don't love you that much.
Yeah, that much.
I mean, my parents don't love me that much. I think they love me, maybe. I don't know, we'll find out. It's one of those things I'm still working on. I mean, the other thing too is like when you, tell me about like when you moved out to Washington.
Yeah.
Right, like what was that like to leave like your essentially your
My safety net.
yeah, your fortress of solitude, so to speak, given how much you like Star Wars and everything else.
I mean, it was super scary. It was like, I was excited because, you know, you're leaving, because like, you're leaving your home state, right? And so I moved 2,000 miles away, and, all right, what am I doing?
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm just bringing you in a little bit because
okay.
you're like moving
like
more and more
wandering?
over there.
Okay.
And like I think there's a couple people over there who are getting a little bit nervous about you just wanting to go over there and maybe take their phones.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna wander off stage?
You're just gonna wander off stage. It's happened on the show.
People have taken phones?
No. People have just kind of wandered around. You're just like, oh, hey, you can come hang out.
I like this side because
Yeah.
I get to look at you and talk this
Yeah.
way.
So no, I mean like leaving a safety net and stuff like that. Was there some doubt there that you're like, okay, now it's real, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a whole thing of like leaving your job, but I mean you always have like somebody to fall
You
back
have
on.
your safety net. You have your parents, your grandparents, your cousins. I was terrified.
Okay.
To move from Michigan, and I love Michigan. Michigan's a beautiful state. I'm a devout Michigan sports fan, whether it's the Detroit Lions, the greatest NFL team of all time, or Detroit Tigers, Detroit Red Wings. I am diehard Michigan.
Right.
And so I was super scared about leaving that, you know, because yeah, if something were to happen and the stream were to fail, my safety net is that job I could go back to, or my parents I could move back in with, or my grandma or aunts or uncles. And when you're moving 2,000 miles, I think one of the saddest things is like your friend group. You know, your friends are so hard to achieve in this industry.
Right.
Because you want to know, do they like me for me? Do they like me for my reach? Do they like me for my channel?
Right.
Or do they like me for me? And when you have your friends that you've gone to middle school with, high school with, you share memories with, you just leave those all behind 2,000 miles away.
Yeah, and that's always a bit crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, and we moved right before COVID.
Right.
So it's like, we moved out here like super sprightly and excited. We're like, oh my God, I'm so excited to be in Washington. And then COVID hit, and it's like, by the way, now you're stuck indoors for a year.
Yeah.
And so that like put a big halter to making any friendships.
Okay, so now we got to hook up all the stuff to this. So I'm going to hook this one up because this cable is just terrible. This is your USB 3.2. So I'm going to hook this one up, but you're going to hook up the other ones. Okay, so this one right here, this is our USB-C.
This is such great cable management, by the way.
And we will, I was cleaning that up while we go in. So this one's going to go in here. Yep, this is just going to plug right into that one right there. Just like that, yeah. And I spend a lot of time like pre-wiring, so it's just like you get to kind of come in and be the star.
And just plug it.
Yeah, be the star. Okay, so these up here, these are our fan connections. They're all the same. You see these three black things up here? I'll just show you how one plugs in. Just plugs in just like that. Just plug it in. And you're going to take these two and do the same thing. You're going to plug them where it's gray, though. I mean, where it's dark black, not the light gray one. So there's like a little lip on them, see on the side? So that little lip goes around the little piece of plastic right there.
So I'm lining up the dots, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But on the black ones, yep, perfect, just like that. And these are just hooking up the three fans that we've just hooked up. There we go. There you go. It's just, it'll kind of click in. Yeah, it's a little hard the first time. And then that one's
Well, it seems like everything is so easy to bend.
Yeah, I can get that. I can get that impression, yeah.
You don't want to brute force it. There we go, good.
Okay, so there's those. Next one is this is your HD audio cable. So this is like all your front panel, like your headphone jack and stuff like that. See how there's one like pin that's filled in, like that. See?
Yep.
And that's just, so it's going to go right here where it says audio, and you can line that up. It should just go like this. Yeah. So it'll go like that, and the audio will be up. See, it says audio on the top of it.
I'm going into that little guy?
And the far left. Yep, the far left.
Oh, far left.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like there. Yeah, and you're hooking up all your stuff, like everything you need to get your PC to work. Should just push in. It only goes one way, so it's just, it goes
I think I'm in.
Yeah, it feels good. Okay, cool. Next one, this is your RGB, like basically all your lighting. Let's get this little bad boy out of the way, though. It's being kind of a pain. Why is that being annoying? There you go. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Okay, so this one is your RGB, and you see there's like a 3-pin right here. It says D LED 1.
Yep.
So these 3 it's just going to go right over that. This one's going to take some time. Sometimes you'll get it right. If you got skill, if you don't, it can take a little while. Okay, just like, yeah, there you go. Just over it, a little bit up. Not quite over the holes there, the pins. Nope, you're not on it. There you go. Nope, a little bit higher. There you go. It's going to go in the middle. Keep going. No, you're not there. You're not doing it. Nope. Nope. Keep going up. There you go. There you did it. There you did it. It's like, it's one of those, like, do you have performance anxiety?
No. But normally I don't have someone like in my ear going, no, no,
No.
no.
That's what I do.
Higher,
Yeah,
higher.
we're gonna plug this one in.
That's it.
There you go. Okay, so there is all of your front panels. So
Okay.
everything is now, so all of your everything on the board for the most part is plugged in. I'm gonna turn this over to a little bit of light cable management.
Okay.
And then I think one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is like now that we've seen COVID, like it's not going away, but you guys, like you got to actually have an opportunity to go to, I mean, a big part of streamers' lives is things like PAX, TwitchCon, stuff like that. Why don't you tell me about like getting to go to your first PAX in a long time? Because I mean, we were talking about that, and I don't think people, like I know a lot of people are like, what was PAX like? And it wasn't what it was.
No, I mean, so I actually came up with a really good quote for this.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of people that
Is it Nietzsche?
No, it fits. It's very broad, actually. It's actually a very broad quote. But the quote is, convention, it's not about the convention, it's about the people.
Okay.
And how that symbolizes and wraps around is just because so many people were so scared to go to conventions again. And I get it. But I wasn't going to the convention for the convention. I was going to meet the people.
Right.
I was going to spend time with people that I talk to every single day on stream. You know, these are people, I ask them, how's school's going? How's work? How's your pets? What'd you have for dinner? And so these are people I talk to on a daily basis. And so for me, attending a convention like PAX, I didn't care about the convention. I just wanted to see my community. I wanted to drink. I wanted to take shots. I wanted to eat pizza together. Because for me, that was like the bonding. And I mean, so...
Well, let me interrupt you for 1 second, because you were talking about pizza. The other thing, too, is like you actually have this thing on about burgers, right? Like a burger, like tier list of like best burgers in Washington or whatever.
I mean, overall, I have a burger tier list. I put Five Guys very high.
Okay.
And then as like a subtle diss, I always put... oh man, in California, this is not good.
You're gonna say
I'm
In-N-Out.
surrounded. I was gonna say In-N-Out's very overrated.
Okay.
I was kind of scared to say that out loud. I know, man. I'm getting everybody looking at me. Well, it's because to be fair, the couple times I've had In-N-Out, the fries were not good. The fries are nice. Everybody's giving me eyes right now in the studio, but like the fries were not that good, and like the patties were very thin. And so now this is, you guys, it's okay. Also, I say the same thing about Whataburger because we have a lot of Texas community members, and Texas community members swear by Whataburger.
Yeah, and I like Whataburger.
And like both these like burger joints are great, but then they always come back at me because I always put Five Guys towards the top.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of the Five Guys fries. I'm a big fan of the Five Guys burgers, and so we butt heads a lot. because I'm always like, yeah, In-N-Out sucks. And they're like, I will find you.
And I will end you.
I will end you.
Speaking of that, so reason I bring that up is Code 4 actually is going to be burgers, because we knew a large part of that was this. So we had burger because I'd actually seen that before, which I thought was actually pretty cool. So Code 4 is burger right there. So we've got that up there. By the way, guys, I also want to let you know that there is a giveaway that's going on right now, and I wanted to give you a chance. There's a way to enter to win one of 4 powerful custom desktop gaming PCs built from the ground up by some of our favorite modders to represent Intel Gamers Days in 2021. These PCs come equipped with, of course, the latest Intel Core processors and components built into these very unique DIY custom cases you will not find anywhere else. The best part is that every entry supports Technovation. It's a global tech education nonprofit that empowers underrepresented groups to be leaders and creative problem solvers through technology and engineering education. So if you guys want to enter to win, you can donate $10 or more into support Technovation, and if you want to give more, you'll earn more entries to win. So there's always, like, if you've done Extra Life and other things like that, you've seen me do that stuff. You can go from there. There are also obviously ways to enter without donating. For details on that, we'll get that in here pretty soon. So. But yeah, there's your code for the giveaway, and then also just a little bit about one of those other things to help support an absolutely incredible charity.
I mean, that's a great prize, to be honest.
And then one of 4, like, again, it's like some of these builds, like we had, like for Intel Gamer Days, they had the one that built by Newegg. We did one, I did one, Linus did one, as we did as a thing. So there's been, like, the prizes for Intel Gamer Days, as well as just even some of the shopping opportunities has been really, really cool. So
I mean, that's just a small amount to give to support others.
Yeah.
And then you have a chance to win a PC that's worth thousands.
And it's like, I mean, $10 for an opportunity to win something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things I really enjoy about Extra Life. And then so many companies, Intel's been a massive supporter. Obviously, even Gigabyte's been a massive supporter for things like that. So like as an opportunity to just have these guys who give products that are obviously very much in demand, and then also to have these modders take these things, because I think of PCs as art. I mean, they are. Like, we go to make them look as incredible as they absolutely can.
Especially when you do it, because you are very meticulous.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a lot of PC builds on there, and you only get to see one side because they just want to show you the RGB. But then when you actually see it, you're like, man, your cord work is very messy. And I'm like watching you here, and you're very meticulous. Just the way you're using these zip ties.
Yeah, because I mean,
it's like poetry here.
They're like they're essentially my arch nemesis, and each one of them is just, because we use a ton of them, right? So it's like I have to feel bad. I kind of feel bad. It's like, how many zip ties were sacrificed in the making of this build? But
I mean, it's necessary.
It is.
You're giving them a good home.
Well, I want you to have a really good looking PC as well. So, and going from there. So anyway, guys, Code 4 Burger, enter to win one of those things. Again, you guys are seeing the entries from that in any one of the chats if you're paying attention. If you're not, then hey, you're probably just here for the entertainment as well, which is great.
We're doing a good job.
Yeah, we hope we're having a good time and you guys are enjoying this. But again, you can enter to win, and then all of those links and stuff are being shared, as well as there are people who will tell you if you're showing up late, the codes that you missed. So don't worry, just because you missed some codes, we'll definitely share those via all the different chats over the course of the show. So you said, like I said, and I love that. You're right. It's all about community and getting to hang out with your community and seeing the people. Yeah. What were some of the things you did? Because in the end, I think we had the whole thing where, COVID was starting to on us down, and a lot of things were starting to open back up, and everybody had this expectation of what PAX was going to be. And PAX was not that at all. So what are some of the things that you did do that you ended up saying, like, it wasn't that bad of an experience at all?
So a typical PAX, if you guys don't know what PAX is, and we're just throwing this word out there, PAX stands for Penny Arcade Expo.
Yep.
Essentially, PAX has always been a huge gamer convention where it's just filled with booths of gamer stuff. There's Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation. You got Astro gaming headsets. You got chair companies, gaming glasses companies, and then like all your favorite devs are there. So you get to play the games before they come out. And so when you walk into a PAX, traditionally you're blown away by all the lights and the splendor and all the booths. And then this PAX, it was not it. This PAX, there was no major devs. There was no real accessory companies. So it was just a bunch of indie devs.
And not to say indie devs are bad.
No, they're great. But I mean, indie devs are working with a small budget. so they're not flashy, you know. But Xbox has a flashy, huge, spectacular booth. Nintendo goes all out on their booths. You know, a company Tiny Build, they go all out on their booths. And so indie devs have a small budget, so they just have little cubicle style booths, and they're like, hey, test our game. And so that's very cool that they're there, but that's not the typical PAX experience. Regardless, you got to make the best out of a bad situation.
Right.
So in order to turn PAX, because we had a lot of community members flying from Texas and Florida and Michigan and Boston. So these guys are spending thousands of dollars to attend a PAX experience.
Right.
So it was our goal as community leaders, you know, me and my girlfriend, she's also a streamer, Brittany. We were like, okay, we got to take care of our community. We got to show them a good time. And so one of the things that our friend and roommate Yaps, he was like, we're gonna do, it's called the True Dungeon. And so it was pitched to me as a 2-hour-long escape room.
Right.
And I love escape rooms, and I was like, oh my God, I'm totally down. It ended up being so much more than that. So it's called True Dungeon, and it's actually a 2-hour-long live-action Dungeons and Dragons / escape room experience. And if you're starting to get, D&D is like blowing up again. Out of
Right.
nowhere, D&D is blowing up.
Well, I think some of that has to do with just what has been going on with, you know, our world and
Yeah.
like reconnecting people in a way that could be really fruitful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So.
And so I'm kind of like a D&D noob. You know, like I played it casually as a kid, but I was more of like a Magic the Gathering kid.
Okay.
I played a lot of Magic the Gathering. I wasn't really into tabletop. And so we walk in, there's 8 of us, right? 8 community members, we walk in and we're given our player cards and we pick. And so like you get to be a mage, you get to be a barbarian, you get to be a rogue, you get to be a cleric. And then they just throw you a bag of chips and you build your guy. And then you jot down your player sheet and you have your overall player sheet. And then you proceed to go into 14 different individual dungeons with a story that kind of just wanders throughout. And so it was so cool because I was a barbarian, so for my skill, it was just hack and slash melee.
Right.
But in order to do damage to the bosses in each room, you're playing shuffleboard. So I was a barbarian, so I had a 2-handed mace. And I take my little pog chip and I put it inside a shuffleboard piece and I slide it across like a table, and there's like a giant dragon or a queen or a werewolf or something, and your goal is to try to land somewhere to do damage. And you're like, okay, that's cool. But now it gets even more wild because if you were a mage, they have you memorize 14 different symbols. Fire, earth, wind, and water.
And this is like you didn't get a reference, like you had to memorize.
No, you're going in blind.
How much time did you have to like memorize it?
5 minutes.
Whoa, that's
you
not
get
a lot.
5 minutes. Luckily for me, mine was the easiest role. I
Right.
literally was just like,
Well, you were a barbarian.
but like for Brittany, she was a mage. So she had to memorize the symbol for magic. She had to memorize the symbol for earth and wind and water. And so she would be like, I want to do a fireball on the dragon. And so the dungeon master would be like,
Which
point to
symbol?
earth. And she'd be like, that's earth. And boom, 14 damage.
Right.
And then it got even more in depth. So the cleric's like, I want to heal the party. And so to heal the party, you had to memorize beads. You had to literally memorize beads. And he'd be like, which bead represents friendship? And so he's just like staring at all the beads. And he's like, that one. And so that's how they did their skill checks. And so for me, this was my first, it was kind of like LARPing.
Right.
It almost felt like LARPing. And like, I've never LARPed before, but I've seen, you know, what's that movie? With, shoot. They're
Top Gun?
No, oh my gosh. No, Role Models? Was it Role Models?
Jurassic Park.
It was Role Models?
Oh.
Yeah, Role Models where like, they're LARPing as Kiss.
Oh,
right?
that's
and
right,
they go to
yeah,
their
okay.
first LARPing. It was kind of like LARPing. And it was, but they had escape room elements, D&D elements, and I was like, and it was 2 hours long, and that was probably the coolest thing about the actual convention of PAX. And I gotta hand it to the guys at PAX. They were actually pretty clean. Like everything was sanitized, everybody was vaccinated, everybody was wearing masks. and like they were very because like they were worried. We're worried, you know. It's still a scary time, and they did a really good job of easing the worry.
Good.
But we did a lot of our things outdoors because we're in Seattle.
Right.
So since
And it was like nice.
Yeah.
It's been
God,
nice
it was
in
beautiful.
Seattle. Yeah.
And so we're in
I
Seattle.
know a lot of people are like, wait, Seattle's no, it's not right now. It's the best time to be there.
Yeah.
Not saying you should move there. You shouldn't.
No,
But I'm
don't
just-
move there. It
Don't
rains
move
a
there.
lot.
It rains all the
It
time.
rains
You should never ever move to
Yeah,
Seattle.
don't move there. We don't need any more people.
Yeah, we don't need any more people.
You know what's funny though is that we were told that exact same thing, and then when we because it stopped raining for a while, and we were like, hey, why does everybody tell us not to move here? It rains a lot, and they're like, because we don't want you moving here. We don't want any more people.
Okay, so we're going to take just a quick update. What I did is I went ahead and I just cleaned up these because, again, I didn't want a lot of weird cables, so you just have a single cable run here and up here, so it just ends up making it look a whole lot nicer. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to put together your AIO.
Okay.
Most of your cable management is actually pretty close to done. So the good thing is
my AIO?
your AIO is what cools your CPU.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do, and this is gonna be the one thing that's always weird about front-mounted AIOs is that we have to build them basically up as we're putting them. Yeah, I think we can try. You might be able to put the fan on the other side, but for the most part, we're gonna build it basically through. And so it's gonna take a little bit of teamwork to get this installed. But yeah, I wanted to basically get all of your motherboard and all that stuff is hooked up. And so we're actually in really good shape because I kind of did things a little out of order so we could get your fans and stuff done.
Yeah.
So now we're going to grab this really ridiculous AIO.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
This is what keeps the CPU.
That's actually beautiful, though.
Oh, it is. I'm
beautiful.
actually really excited. And the other thing too is like you're going to have like the AORUS symbols glowing out of the front, and so then you can be like, we're sponsored by them, and then they'll send you a free product, right?
Yeah.
He's like, they're looking like, no, that's not true at all. No. So check this out. Here is, again, I love this cooler. And so we're going to show this off because it's like, here is the screen, you guys, for this cooler. Now, again, this does not have thermal paste. We are going to have to install some thermal paste. But again, you can just see here.
And so is that going to press against the CPU?
Yeah, that's going to press against the CPU. So you can see that, basically that really cool screen.
Awesome.
And then here is the rest of it, right? And so we're just going to get all of this stuff out. So there's your AIO right there.
So
now we're not going to be, it looks like we're not going to have the room to do a top mounted. Sorry, bottom tubes down. So we'll have to do tubes up, which is fine. This is still in the right place for that, so you'll be okay there. I'm just gonna get your fittings and stuff in here, and then we'll go from there. So we're gonna pop this in like this.
And this is why you are the best at what you do, because you're able to problem solve on the fly.
Yeah, it's just learning really quickly what you're able to do. Because again, these tubes are pretty short. And then again, we're gonna be okay because your cables are gonna sit like that, so it should be fine. Let's go and grab your fans. Keep all this stuff close. This is all the extra stuff. I actually already took everything out, so I'm just going to put this stuff in here.
So typically, now that was a tube of thermal paste, right?
Yes.
That comes with the cooling unit itself and not the CPU.
Yes.
I always thought it was the other way around.
It depends on the CPU. Certain CPUs, if they come with stock coolers, will actually come with thermal paste. But for the most part, you're absolutely right. Most of the time, it's all just done with the fan. And we'll have you install that in just a few minutes. Now, we don't have our little spatula, unfortunately, so we'll have to just do the standard little P-type method, but it'll be okay. Or we'll actually probably end up doing the cross, because that ends up having the best spread.
My most knowledge with thermal paste came from the Xbox 360 days.
Oh, yeah?
It was a little side gig that we figured out what was red ringing most of the 360s was the thermal paste would dry up. And so me and my buddy would take apart Xbox 360s and just apply a little bit of thermal paste, and the red ring of death would be gone.
Wow, I don't remember that.
And we were like just turning these Xbox 360s because people would sell red ringed Xbox 360s for like $20.
Right.
And then you fix it, and it was good to go.
And so you were like, done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, originally I did the hot towel trick to fix my own.
Right.
It's where you would wrap a 360 in a hot towel and then like literally cook it for like 30 seconds. And like we're
I
like,
don't remember any of this.
you don't
Like,
remember the towel trick?
No, I don't.
Oh
no,
my gosh.
Because I would be like, there's no way I'm doing this to a 360.
No, I mean, when you're broke, you gotta make it work. Mom's not buying me another Xbox 360. Yeah, the towel trick worked real well. It was like blowing on a cartridge in the Nintendo days. It didn't make sense, but for some reason it worked.
How long did that last? Or did you have to
not
like
that long, like a month.
And then you have to towel
And
it
you have to
again?
read it. Yeah. It would literally be you would towel trick it, it'd get you a month, and then you towel trick it, get you another month.
Wow.
And then my buddy who was like, he was a tech guy, he like actually ripped it apart, and he's like, man, he's like, this shouldn't be here. There should be some thermal paste on this CPU. And he reapplied it, and then Red Ring was gone.
And so then you were like,
the side hustle began.
And how many did you end up fixing?
Not that many, like 6 or 7.
Oh, okay.
Six or 7.
But you could turn around and sell them after that.
Yeah. You could sell them back to GameStop.
That's crazy.
You know?
For $12.
Yeah, like $12.50.
Oh, GameStop. Okay, so what we're doing is we're just getting everything set up right now to connect the fans and everything, so that way we can have his help getting the screws in. Because this is actually something that teamwork would help a ton on this.
Yeah.
Because we have to essentially line this up. It's funny because we were doing when we were test fitting all the parts for the 30K build. It was I had my first time, like my dad, who also works for me as part of our team, was like here helping me like install radiators and stuff, and he was like, we were like having to teamwork it up.
So what component of this is the RGB? Is it the face itself?
Yeah, it's actually inside the fan itself.
Oh.
So, and then we're going to bring up, while we're doing this, we're going to go ahead and do code 5. And code 5 is AORUS 15 PDX, AORUS 15 PDX. In fact, PXD. Sorry, I read that backwards. AORUS 15 PXD. And speaking of that, we actually have two of these right here, showing these things off. So these are the actual units right here. This one is using Intel Core i7. Let me see if I can turn it. Oh, there it is. Intel Core i7. I'm actually really excited about this. 1080p screen, 300 hertz refresh rate, right? That's crazy. 1080p. It's got a 3080 mobile inside of it. You've got full mechanical keyboard. You got a 1 terabyte SSD, and these are IPS screens, which means that not only are they going to be good for FPS gaming, but they're also going to be great for your cinematic experiences like Cyberpunk, etc. And then again, this is the 17-inch version, which means you get plenty of screen real estate for basically doing your gaming. Now, what Covent is holding over there, and you are doing it so well, my friend, is the 15-inch version, correct? 15-inch version? Yeah, 15-inch, the 15-inch, yeah, 15-inch. This one also has a Core i7 in it, 1080p screen, 240 hertz refresh rate, and then it also has a 3080 mobile inside of it as well, which means you're plenty of basically power to pull that, push that refresh rate, and then you got an IPS screen, and it's in that smaller form factor. Because again, 17-inch can be a little bit hefty, but then you have something like this that you can just definitely carry around, and it's nice.
Yeah.
Again, both of these are very premium in terms of the absolute look from this stuff. You've got the RGB backlit here as well, and you can see, look at the cooling, showing the bottom of that one. Look at the cooling. You've got those big fan vents at the bottom, and then of course you've also got that there as well. So these things have plenty of room for cooling, which is something that I've actually really appreciated about modern day laptops, is just how much better they've gotten at cooling these things, given we know that RTX 3000 series, and as CPUs get more powerful, the cooling potential for these is going to be huge. So again, these are the PXDs, and then we set the 15-inch, and then of course the 17-inch, and we just show these off. Again, we're going to show you some pretty cool hardware at the same time.
Yeah, these are really good-looking laptops.
These are, and yeah, you can throw them. They're like boomer. Never mind, they're taking them. Oh, thanks, buddy.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, and then so the other thing too is the best thing is like we also get to keep these and get to take. No, I'm just kidding. We don't. Oh, never mind. Never mind. They take them from us.
So wait, how do they win those? They just enter that code?
No, I don't. Yeah, no, those aren't for giveaways. They were just showing those off.
Okay.
So no, we were just showing those off. It was like a nice little tech. And again, anytime I get to touch new hardware, it's just, I don't know, it just brings me joy. So thank you very much, Mike, and the team. Obviously,
that's
at
way
AORUS
better than my first laptop.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that thing is.
Those things are ridiculous. Was huge.
Yeah.
Sticky.
Yeah.
And falling apart. Like the
What
keyboard.
were you doing with your?
I was.
Wait, did you towel trick it again?
No.
Something tells me there was a towel involved.
I was just a teenager.
Oh, it's just like all in all, it's like, hey, it doesn't work. Let's go and
By
wrap
the
it in
time
a
it
towel
was
and cook
done,
it.
the keyboard actually, like the whole unit lifted out.
Oh,
by the
that's
time
brutal.
it was done.
Yeah, that's
That was
brutal.
that was a good laptop, man.
Oh, man.
Memories.
Memories. Oh man, it's just so funny. Like I guess when I was never unlucky enough to actually end up with a red ring of death, but I guess I never bothered to look what it would take to actually fix that thing.
I mean, I feel like you could have fixed it real easy.
Well,
with
probably,
your
but I don't know if
know-how.
I don't think I would have ever like thought about sticking like cooking. Like, did you just cook it in an oven or?
No. So the towel trick essentially was you just wrap multiple towels around it, which would trap the heat, block the fans, and then you just leave it on for 10 minutes, 15, 30 minutes.
I just see you like going in and set the oven to 350.
Oh man.
Like, do you think?
I'm sure that was tried.
I'm
sure it was tried,
I'm
not
sure
by
some-
me.
Yeah, I mean, just like all in all, like like the people to come up with these things is like it's just crazy. Okay, so now we've got. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna find
Okay.
our really long screws. There they are, right there. So
Which screwdriver are we using here?
probably you're probably gonna want to use Excalibur just because it's got the strongest magnet.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get these. Well, let me see if I might be able to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I might be able to line these up. Again, this always takes some time here. I want to see. That's what. These the longest ones we have here. Do we have any longer screws? Okay, let me see one other thing real quick.
Oh my God, there's two.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, the other ones are for the. I'm gonna see just if we can do this through the other side. We might actually have to do a pull configuration just because of the screws.
What does that mean?
So we'll pull air through the AIO instead of pushing it.
Okay.
Which is okay. It just the RGB will be a little bit different. So I'm just gonna see if there's an option there. Which actually it's a little easier to mount this way. So I don't think because again the length. This is the thing that's always interesting is the length of the screws sometimes. Because again we need to be able to get the screw all the way through the fan.
Okay.
And then you also have to be able to get it onto the radiator. And so it's sometimes you've got the extra, I think we're gonna have to do a pull
That looks
config.
tricky.
It is, but we'll get it squared away, so it's all good. Okay, so we're gonna do pull instead.
So we're pulling. When you say pull, we're pulling.
We're gonna pull air through
Okay.
it instead of pushing air through. So you're just gonna get a lot more RGB on the inside.
Okay.
Instead of having it shine through the center, which is fine. So what we'll do, and it'll actually make it a little bit easier because we can just put the whole thing together this way.
So this seems like where this could be a time-consuming component of the PC build, right?
This is usually like this is usually probably the most time-consuming portion, just because it's just like AIOs, especially if you haven't sometimes I just haven't got to work with with something before, so it's like a little bit of like, oh, is this going to work this way or whatever it was, but no big deal. It's
and you want to be clean about it. You want to keep your cable management on par.
All that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this off to the side.
Okay.
Set this up over here, like so, and then now we're going to build your AIO.
Okay.
So the way we're going to do that is, so I'm going to have, this is going to go in like this. So I'm just making sure that we have our fans in the right direction. Okay, there it is. Yes, and this is what I want. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our screws, and you're going to mount, you're going to basically screw these in.
Okay.
Okay, so you can go ahead and put those two in. There we go.
How tight do I want to go?
It's just pretty tight enough. Did it catch?
Yeah, it's catch.
Okay, there you go. They don't screw in that far, so yeah. And then we'll do this for the other ones as well. Okay, and we're just going to do each corner, and then we'll do the other ones once we get the corners in. And then from there, we can mount it into the, there we go. Hold on one sec. Okay, yeah, so that's right. I just want to make sure before I get too far. There we go. So what we're doing right now is we're basically going to be pulling the air through the AIO and into the case. So that's one of the things we want to do. What we're trying to do is push it before, which this is going to create a little bit more lighting. How do you have your case usually sitting out forward, or like how's your setup at home?
So my setup at home, I got monitor. I'm doing a two monitor.
Sorry, where's your PC? I mean, like
right hand side.
Does it point out, or is it off to the side?
It points out.
Okay. Yeah. So this one will this will probably the best angle for this one will be if it's sideways a little bit, so a little bit out. So because there won't be any light coming out of the front of the front of the case this way.
So it's not going to blind me, right?
No.
Okay.
Actually, you'll like I said, you're going to get a lot more light on the inside, which is going to be kind of cool. There we go. And then one more in that corner. Okay, and then we can take these. Wait, finishing that. And there. Yeah, like you said, a lot of screws when you do builds like this. There you go. What we're doing right now is just getting those screws in. The tightening. Oh, there it is. Yeah, perfect.
To put a little pressure in there.
Yeah, sometimes they just take it, like again, the good thing is like a lot of times you'll see these pads, and those pads are sound dampening material. So again, keeping it from vibrating, so you don't get a lot of noise. I mean, again, you want these to be quiet, especially for streaming, right? The last thing you want to hear is the whole time, and you're like, yes, I'm trying to talk over my PC. So that's what this kind of the sound dampening side is. So of all the events that you've been to, like I said, how long have you been streaming now total?
Well, I've been streaming now for 5 years.
Okay.
But before that, I attended many tournaments.
Okay, but when you think about just streaming, so forget about the tournament side, what has been your favorite convention that you have attended as a streamer, and why?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know.
That's a good one.
I know.
I love conventions.
Okay, yeah, there's some of the best. There's some of the best parts.
Their conventions are probably, which I hope they return to full glory, because they are my favorite thing about being a streamer, because you get to meet your community face to face and actually bond. My favorite one would probably be, there's a couple. E3 for sure.
Okay.
Going to my very first E3 as a streamer was so cool, just because as a little kid, you grew up watching E3. I think we got it.
Yeah, we got them. Yep, perfect.
You grew up watching E3 as a little kid, and when you finally get to go to E3 as a streamer, you get to see the behind the scenes, and E3 does it big. You know, they do it big. Their marketing budget is phenomenal. Their booths are the biggest booths. Like there's literally like 10-foot tall, 20-foot tall dragons everywhere. There's people in costume. There's people they literally hire actors to dress up. Like I remember this one E3. It was the launch of Shadow of Mordor, the Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah.
And they actually had people dressed up as orcs. And they're just walking around the convention floor, acting like orcs. And you get this surreal experience attending E3, you know? And really cool thing about being a streamer is that you get to skip the lines.
Right.
That is definitely a perk, getting to skip the lines, because the lines are crazy. But you get to play the Call of Duty before it's released. You know, you get to play the new Battlefields. You get to play the new, the new Mario games. And so, it's such a phenomenal experience. And then not only that, but you're also, for people their first time, they're in, the downtown cool part of LA. They're in the convention center part of LA. And that whole little block is it's just gamers surrounded by gamers. So for that brief weekend, you feel like you're finally with your own people. Fellow nerds, fellow gamers, fellow cosplayers. And so it feels like that is your world.
Right.
You go to Starbucks. It's so cool when you wake up to go to Starbucks and you see all these people in cosplay in line getting their Starbucks.
Right.
And you see people just dressed head to toe in anime gear, wearing their favorite, and it's just I'm home. It feels like I'm home. So yeah, E3.
That would be
E3 is my favorite.
E3 is your favorite. I was testing something. They give you these radiator screws that they look like they might have been extensions, but I don't think those are going to work either. So we're going to keep it the way that we got
So if they did work, would we have to unscrew that and flip it?
I think all in all, like we're good either way. I just
Okay.
wanted to see. I wanted to see if that was an option, so we could
Okay.
ask you the question. But it's all good. So we're going to do this and put these over here. We've got like a nice little tidy garbage thing there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to mount this into your case.
Okay. Oh man. Like for this, like this part right here, this is kind of intimidating to me, just because of what you're holding right now and how important this piece is.
It's
right?
it's just it's the thing that's going to cool your whole thing. So what I'm
Cool
going to do
the
is
expensive part.
Yeah, cool the expensive part. One of the expensive parts.
Like
for sure.
regardless of it looking cool, like this
Yeah.
is vital.
It is. That is definitely true.
So what's the difference between this and like liquid cooling? Because that's a very popular phrase these days, is liquid cooling.
So this is liquid cooled.
Oh, that is liquid
Yeah,
cooled.
it is liquid
Okay.
cooled. There's actually water inside of this.
Okay.
Or it's actually a water glycol mix. And so, but it's what's called an all-in-one liquid cooler, which means
Okay.
it's self-contained.
Oh,
so in other words,
okay.
you don't have to some ones you can, but you don't have to fill it. There's very little maintenance for it, that sort of thing. So that's what.
What kind of maintenance would I do if I need to do maintenance?
Well, if you did, you might after 5 to 7 years.
I'd drive to your house, honestly.
Yeah, that's probably
like,
what
hey,
you-
I'm gonna buy you some beers, and oh, my PC just happens to be in the back of my car.
Well, I mean, really, what it comes down to is a lot of times they really are considered maintenance free for the most
Yeah.
part. The only maintenance that you might do on this is you might have to replace it after a number of time because you might have things like liquid that evaporate or whatever it was,
Right.
but that's become so much better with especially these higher end AIOs like
Yeah.
what we're dealing with here. But some allow things like fill ports, etc. if you want to do that. But for the most part, the reason that these exist and why these are so good is because you don't have to worry about that maintenance. So that's what we're dealing with here with this one. Okay, so now you have, there they are. You want to open that up. And then what we're going to do is you can see the little screw holes
Okay.
right there.
There's a lot.
Yeah, so we're going to basically put one of those in all of them. So starting in the best thing to do is to stop in the top corner and then the bottom corner. And for those people who are asking, so somebody's like, hey, Robey, if you're going to do top tubes, well, then you're going to hurt the IO. That's actually not true. Again, because of where the placement is for the pump and the cold plate, where should
we go next?
Right down here in the corner.
Okay.
I'll show you from a top-down view that it's actually okay. Now, if the pump was going to be way above, then there'd be a problem. But actually, air will get trapped at the top of this and not actually get to the pump. So this will be absolutely fine. And if you want more details on that, the better one, I know a lot of people have watched Gamers Nexus whole video on this, but I would actually recommend watching Jay's 2 cents or even mine one on AIO cooling. Where it better explains that, because I think a lot of people just watch 5 minutes of the Gamers Nexus one and then didn't really fully understand what it was they were watching. There you go. Okay, cool. Now you can just put the rest of them in.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do?
Now, there's a lot, these little guys.
Yep, those are all.
Okay,
gonna go
all
in.
of them. Okay.
Yep, you got a lot to put in.
Okay. So what is AIO an acronym? What does it stand for?
It stands for all in one.
Oh, okay.
No, it's okay. No, it's so all in one, and it's just meant that it's basically water, pump, radiator, and fans. Everything is all included. So it's an all-in-one liquid cooler. And I think the thing was for a while, actually, there was a time that even as AIOs got better, even air cooling was still a better option. But now, air cooling or liquid cooling are both viable options.
So why would air cooling be better?
Sometimes there's some pretty incredible air coolers out there. The thing is again, you don't have to worry about anything potentially going wrong. I mean, there's still always some chance of leakage. You have to worry about permeation, which you don't have to worry about in an air cooler. And the other thing too is some people, it's just in terms of they're simpler to install.
Yeah.
These are again, you're seeing how many cables we have.
Yeah, this is a lot of cables.
There's a far less usually when you have to deal with an air.
This for me, if I was doing this, this would be very intimidating.
Yes. But again, I mean, I think nowadays, especially you talk about, with YouTube and everything else, figuring this stuff out is actually pretty, there's lots of guides on showing how to do this nowadays.
Yeah, my very first, my PC build I built, along with a YouTube video, was so simple compared to this.
Yes, and
this is so, there was nothing in it.
Yeah, and this one, I mean, you're building a high-end gaming rig right now, right? And so with any time that you basically build a high-end gaming rig, there's always like a little bit more that you have to worry about.
So like this is wild because I'm looking at it. Like it looks like we're like what we're screwing into. What is this right here that we're screwing into?
So these are fins, and what
Okay.
happens is water's basically traveling, and air is blowing across these. So as water basically travels through this,
Okay. And we're screwing the screws into the.
no, we're screwing it into just these. There's screw holes here. It's not going into.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, you're good there. That's a good question, and I think a lot of people actually think that that's actually a thing that's happening, and that's actually not happening. So, yep. So you got nothing to worry about there. I'm going to grab, while you're doing that, real quick, I'm going to grab another part of this. Speaking of that, you have built. You told me a little bit about your first PC building experience, and so you have had experience with building a PC. It wasn't like to the degree that we're doing right now.
Right.
But tell me about like what that was like when you first because you did it with your uncle, right?
Yep. Well, no, my very first PC build, it was with my uncle, and very basic. I don't remember much. I do remember my first streaming build.
Right.
That was with my buddy Steve. Are you sure there's holes going into this?
Yeah. Yeah, we're okay. Don't worry.
I'm getting nervous here.
No, you're fine.
Very basic build. We basically went to Micro Center for everything.
Right.
And that was my first time at Micro Center, and I was like, oh my God, I am like a kid in a candy store right now.
Mecca. Yeah,
It
for
was,
sure.
I never realized it because everybody would talk to me like, oh, this is the place to go. And I had no idea what that even meant. And then so I walk into Micro Center, and I was just like, oh my God, they have everything. And I had my buddy Steve with me, and because he was the expert, and he's like, dude, I'll help you. He's like, just give me a price range, and we will go around.
We'll get this figured out.
And it was so cool because I was like, I want one of those, I want one of those, I want one of those. But like, I was broke, so my budget was like $1,200, you know?
Right.
And but it was so fun. And then I remember taking it back to my house and just like similar fashion. He's like, okay, you plug this in here. He's like, you apply this here, and it was actually pretty fun. And it took a little bit of the intimidation away, because when there's a lot of people right now that are wanting to get into PC gaming, right?
Right.
And their first instinct is to go pre-built, right? They want to go pre-built because they're scared. But then when you watch YouTube videos or you watch something like this, you're like, oh man, it's actually not that bad. And it took away the fear of building it yourself. But I used that PC, that rinky-dinky self-built PC for like 4 years. 4 years of my streaming.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it made it through.
Okay, there we go. They're all in.
Okay.
And you
Oh wait,
are,
no, they're not all in.
Oh, you got more.
I missed these guys.
You got two more. And there it is. Yeah, and you just want again, when you put them in there, you don't want to go too tight. You just want to basically get them in there so they stop. They're always measured to like be exactly the right length, just like that. Perfect.
It's a little soothing.
Yeah, it's.
Once-
I mean, there is a lot of just soothingness to the to when you do the when you basically do these installs, etc.
The clicking and
Yeah,
the screwing
it's
and
just
the,
like
the
it's
peeling.
just a fun thing. So tell me a little bit about like what now we had E3. I mean, like, we kind of had E3. We kind of had Gamescom, all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. And so now we're like, you've seen kind of what's on the horizon.
Yeah.
A little bit for games. What are you excited about?
Well, I mean, the easiest thing to talk about right now would be because PlayStation had their conference a couple days ago.
Right.
Right. PlayStation had their. So I'm gonna two-part this real quick. I have a fear that conventions are gonna start going away.
Okay.
Because game devs and the marketing budgets are like, hey, we can just launch all these titles and just show trailers and then throw demos out, and that's
Right.
going to save us millions of dollars. We don't have to have booths, we don't have to pay a convention fee. And so my fear, because conventions they're so fun, and like I said, they bring everybody together, and it's such a really cool experience. My fear is that conventions are going to go away, and I hope that's not true. But now back to what we just watched, the PlayStation press conference. They showed the new God of War, God of War Ragnarok, where you know, his son's a little bit older, and now they're going to be going up against Thor and Odin. And graphically, it looks really good. The new God of War looks really good. But the most exciting things for me were Star Wars Knights of the Republic, as I told you earlier, was like one of my favorite games, is getting a remake. So it's not a remaster where they're keeping the same thing and just updating the graphics. It's like a remake.
Right.
So they're going to keep the core story as much as they can, but they're going to be doing so much. And I'm such a Star Wars fan that, like, you could give me a pile of poop and say Star Wars, and I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
You know, because like I am that big fan of. Give me a lightsaber and say this is a Star Wars game, and I'll play it.
Thermal paste.
You're gonna have me thermal paste?
Yeah. Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna basically put like a little bit of a pea size in a little bit of an X. So just like, you don't want to put a ton.
So you do an X?
Yeah. So it's almost like a little, like not a ton.
Do you find it better with a finger or a thumb push?
I do it with a thumb.
Okay.
And you just don't want a ton, but just like a kind of a light X.
So that big?
Yeah. So like you want to go XX, but a pretty good amount. Like not yet. Like not. There you, okay. There. Ooh, that's a lot. That's
Oh
fine,
God!
that's fine,
Don't
that's
say
fine,
that.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay. There you go. Okay. That's a lot.
Oh God!
It's okay. We'll fix it.
Oh God!
So we're just gonna spread it out a little bit, so it goes down a little further. It'll spread out as we go, but.
Why do they give you so much in the tube then?
Because you know what? That's actually a good question.
It should be measured out so that way you can't overdo it.
So we don't need that much, but we get enough of it off to go from there. Okay, cool. We got a lot of it.
Why is too much a bad thing?
It's actually not. It just can get into the sides. It can get into, like, you can't over thermal paste. Like, you really honestly can't. It takes a lot. But it's just, if you goop it over to the sides, it can get into, like, if you need to do any repairs and stuff. Yeah, you don't want to get. Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, so we're just going to get a little bit more of this off.
Okay.
There we go. And then the rest will kind of spread out when we put the AIO on.
Okay.
Which is fine. Okay. Cool.
So what would happen if you did put too much?
Nothing, it just would spread everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, but
You're
messy. Okay. Yeah,
okay.
Just be a little messy. That's okay. We got to fix. Okay, so now what we're going to do, grab this, because there's still quite a bit on there.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, I barely put any pressure on that.
Yeah.
And it just started coming out.
But like as we put pressure on this,
it's going to spread it out.
It's going to spread it out. I'm going to actually take a little bit, just a tiny bit, put it in the top right. You can see I kind of probably.
All right, let's watch.
A little bit. Not much. There you go. There we go. And I'm going to clean a little bit of that up, because I just want enough as it spreads, it'll spread up to that corner.
Okay.
Probably a little more than I needed, but that should be good. And what I'm doing is just looking for an even, like very thin amount that will go with the pressure. So. There you go.
Because you want it to hit the corners too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just you want, like, again, normally what I do is I'll do it with like a spatula, but we don't have a little one here, so which is fine. This will work absolutely great. Okay, now we're gonna make sure we peel this off.
Okay.
Which a lot of people always, and this is gonna.
People don't peel that off?
Yeah, and then your temperature
literally has a giant thing on it that says "peel me."
And you forget.
Oh my goodness.
And I've done it many a time. It just happens. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is stick this on just like this.
Okay.
And then. We're gonna take these little 4 things and I'll have you tighten it.
Like this looks so much different, like as a cooling unit compared to my first build.
Oh,
my first build was so basic.
Okay, I'm gonna get one of these in each corner and then I'll have you tighten it down.
What kind of screws are we using? These guys?
Ooh, shoot.
Uh-oh.
Can you hand me that right there?
Boom.
Quick? Yeah, that perfect. See that? Yeah, you're going to use a Phillips screwdriver.
Okay.
That's got to get them started. Okay.
I gotta say, looking at it from this point, it looks so cool.
Just oh, dude, this is a great.
The sleekness of just all the components together, mixed with their logo right there, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this, okay, now you can go ahead and use your screwdriver, tighten those all the way down. So you're gonna go this like a star,
Okay.
But don't like just do like 5 or 6 turns and then go to the next one. There you go. Now go to the other one, and we're gonna finish that out. And then go to this one. Yeah, there you go. Just like that. And then keep doing that until you can't screw anymore.
Now, why do we do it like this instead of like clockwise?
Yeah, so even pressure across the IHS of the CPU.
And we want the thermal paste.
And you want the thermal paste to spread. So that way it just makes sure it spreads as you go from there. And then now you can just start over in the top, and then that should just be able to tighten all the way down now.
Okay. Because if we did go clockwise, it could do uneven spreading?
I mean, it's just sometimes you can bend things, but it's like you've got most of it. Yeah, see, there wasn't that much left to do. But sometimes you can actually, like with cheaper motherboards, you can actually bend the PCB. That doesn't look like it's spinning at all. That one might have been all the way tight.
Oh boy.
Which is fine. And there you go. All of it spread. You got it probably pretty even, I'm guessing, if we were to take off your, there you go, that's done. Okay. So I'm going to run the ones from the back, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break after this.
Ooh.
And then come back in 10 minutes. I'm just going to run these up, guys, and then we'll be good. So I'm going to take this and this, which are going to run up and over. I'm just going to get these clean for you.
Now, do people normally do this? Because this just seems like...
I mean, make it look good.
I'm making, yeah. I mean,
no.
I've seen a lot of rough builds.
No, I think this is like I think this is the difference between basically if you have somebody who's like a custom PC builder or somebody who thinks of this as an art, and then you have people who just build it because they want to get it done.
Yeah.
But I'm I'm of the mind of like if you're going to spend this kind of money on a PC, you might as well make it look nice.
Well, because you just said it's like an art.
Yeah. Well, it's not for everybody. Some people like, and this, I think I have a little bit of an OCD personality, right? Like I want.
That doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt.
And so like in doing this, it's just about making it look pretty. So again, we have things that look like a single cable run now. Just snip that. There you go. And then what you do is you basically pop that behind. You can still do 4 things, and then it just looks like a nice clean cable. Okay, guys, well, let's turn this around. We'll show you where we're at. We actually don't have a ton left to do, just some hooking up over here, but most of the cables are actually, you can see from there, but there's our build up until this point. We are going to be back in 10 minutes, just going to do another quick break, drink some water, all that sort of stuff. We'll be back, and then from that point in time, we'll be able to finish the build. See you guys in 10. We are back. What's up, guys? So, just as a reminder, let's go ahead and just quickly run through the parts one more time, and then we'll run through real quick what we're talking about from a basically setup standpoint. First and foremost, we're using the i9-11, our motherboard installed, our AIO installed, we've got our fans installed, CPU, RAM. We're going to install our hard drive. That's right, because we have that as well. You can see most of the cable management is done. In fact, during the break, just went ahead and just hooked up and connected up those AIOs real quick. And so things look super clean right now. So just got a little bit of stuff still left to do, and then we'll move forward. So let's grab our hard drive right here. So this is our hard drive, your 4 terabytes of awesome.
Okay.
Then we're going to grab one of the trays out of here.
It's crazy how much 4 terabytes is needed now.
Yeah, I know. Like
just like
from way back, like when it wasn't necessarily as big of a thing. So there's our hard drive tray.
Like I remember 500 gigs. You're like, whoa, 500 gigs.
I'll never use all that.
And now we're getting at 1 terabyte, and you're like 4 terabyte. Oh, that's good, but I might need more.
Yeah, you're like I need all of the rooms.
I mean, Warzone itself is close to 200 gigs.
I know, it's crazy.
Warzone Master Chief Collection's over 100 gigs.
It's so nuts. So speaking of that, what are you playing now? I mean, like if people wanted to tune in and say, I'm gonna watch Covent. He seems like a swell dude.
I am a very swell dude.
What would people watch you play now?
So I like to call myself a variety shooter streamer.
Okay.
Because I love shooters. So right now I'm kind of bouncing around from Apex, Splitgate. There's a new vampire battle royale that I've been playing called Blood Hunt, where
Vampire Battle
yeah,
Royale.
it's so I actually did a sponsored stream with them on Friday, which was really cool.
Okay.
And it was nice because it was a sponsored stream where I actually really enjoyed the game.
Okay.
Because it was so it's a Vampire Battle Royale, 3 different vampire faction, 2 different classes, and it's like you get to use abilities, you get to go invisible, you get to feed off of humans and get powers. And then there's guns galore, and there's wall climbing and jumping, and so that was a lot of fun. Also, lots of Halo. I'm looking forward to the next Halo Infinite Flight, which that's coming in like a week and a half. We got the Battlefield 2042 beta coming in a few weeks.
Right.
So like, if you do tune into my channel, expect to see Halo, Battlefield, Apex, Call of Duty, and just like horror games. October, I'm gonna crush some horror games in October. I'm excited.
There we go. And so there we go, guys. Next code, by the way, that ties in, which I had no idea, but the next code is Variety, which he is a Variety FPS streamer. He also plays other games as well, but there it is, code 6, which is Variety. So bringing that up right now.
Did they type that because I mentioned Variety?
No,
or
you know
they just,
I think they I know we literally just like out of magic.
Beautiful segue.
Like have no idea how that happened.
Beautiful segue.
And so I like to pretend like that was on purpose, but it really honestly was not. Okay, there you go. Hard drive is installed.
Okay.
Just like that, clicks in. So if you ever want to take it out, there's a little button right here that you just basically pull up. And then this literally would
That's
just
so
pop
cool.
out.
It's got its own little home.
It's got its own little home down here, which we gave you lots of room. So what I got to grab is there's a cable in here, and I'm going to have you hook up. It's our little power. Yes, this has got it. This has got it. This is what we're gonna run this cable real quick. And this is like our SATA cable. It's not. It doesn't make you SATA when you plug it in, but it can. Okay, so there's a little. See, there's a little L on this. See that little L? There's a little L right there. And so that's going to plug into that. Variety, that's the next one.
Right here?
Yep, just right there. That's just
Easy.
nice, solid click.
That was a good click.
Yeah, and then what we're going to do is we're going to run our last 2 cables for these are the last 2 cables for our hard drive. This one right here is our USB for our AIO. And then we have this one right here, which is for our hard drive. So we're going to flip this over. Good.
Now, when this is done, how much weight do you think this will be?
Oh man, they can get hefty. This one shouldn't be too bad, but I mean that CCC thick GPU, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you can see this is USB. You can see there's a little pin. So this is going to go right here where it says USB, just like that.
Okay, and right here?
Yep, right in there. Push it in, nice and quality, good, perfect. So tighten that down. Then this one is going to go in with the metal bit just popped up just like that.
Oh, okay. In the very first slot?
Yeah, in the top left slot. Yep. Should just pop right in. There you go. Nice click.
Nice.
Okay, let's get that in. Let's
Awesome.
get these tightened. And then from there, basically be done. And so I'm just going to pull these down. What I'm gonna do is, and I will tell you, like a key to good cable management, guys, is just about, it's almost like 90 degrees. So the more you can make things look at 90 degrees, it seems to be the most pleasing to people is if you just make them look like 90-degree angles. So if things look straight and then just come down at 90, it always looks really nice.
I mean, this whole section looks beautiful right here. All of this and all of this right here looks so clean.
And that's what we want, right? Like
do you do in-home cable management?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
for my stream room and all that sort of stuff. It's just like, yeah, we basically it's all, you want everything to be.
What's your fee to come to my home and do cable management?
It's a lot. $20. I mean, that feels like a great deal.
That's a great
You're like,
deal.
oh, that's expensive, Robey. You should go. I don't know. I'll have to think about that price.
Because like when it comes to like building your own PC and setting up your home gaming system, like, your own cable management can feel exhausting.
Oh yeah.
You know, especially when you start throwing consoles into the mix, multiple monitors, amplifiers, microphones, multiple computers. Like, that seems exhausting.
Yeah, it does take a lot of time and a lot of patience to do it right. But okay, so we can go ahead and seal these down now. So this is going to make it even look a little bit even cleaner. This is where we get to put these cool cable ties down. There we go. Same thing with this one, because we'll be running our other main cables on this side. This will help hold it down. And again, most of this stuff is all the same thing. So again, it's not, a lot of people think, well, you do what's called the spine method. It's called the spine method of cable management. And, but again, all of this is your fans and AIOs, so it's really easy. And outside of your front panel connectors, so not a whole lot I have to worry about undoing.
Why is it called the spine method?
Because it's just a big spine of cables.
Okay, okay.
So, okay, let's get this undone. Move this in, and we're just gonna basically get, this is gonna be for your things. Okay, so everything is hooked up now. Now what we're gonna do is let's get your GPU out. So if you wanna grab your box, do a little unboxing. This is always the fun part. Stuff out here.
And we got a RTX 3070 Ti Master.
Tie. I'm just kidding. That's what everybody's been joking about, the tie. Okay, so we just pop it out, there you go. Then you're gonna go ahead and pop it out of there.
Is this a slide? Oh,
Yeah, just a slide. There you go. And then there it is. Look at that. This is a big, thick card, by the way, guys. Big, thick card. There it is, AORUS.
Oh my God.
Oh, I know.
That's a big
Oh,
boy.
dude, it is huge. 3 slots, 3.5 slots.
Oh my God.
If you guys are watching the show, we put the 3080 version of this into a build just on Friday.
Ooh, that's got some weight to
there
it.
it is. Look at that right there. Let's go hand that to me. Okay. Let's get this out. And there we go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's so big.
Just seeing
I'm gonna
it
pop
on
that
screen.
back in there real quick. There we go. Okay. And there it is right there, guys. The RTX, again, it's got that screen right there on the side. You can see right there. Again, 3.5 slots thick, which is all for cooling. It also uses, unlike many other 3070s, for this 3070 Ti or Ti, we never know. This is actually going to use 2 and a 3 slot for the GPU power as well, which is actually pretty crazy. So nice thick card, and let's get this installed. Here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove 2 here. And then you get to install it, because
Oh boy.
installing your GPU, man, this is rite of passage, baby. So so you've figured out those games. You've talked about Halo, you've talked about the PlayStation. Any PC games that or other platforms that you're a little excited about?
I mean,
Are you gonna play any of those FPS games on PC?
I'm gonna probably play 90% of them on PC.
Yeah,
I mean, that is like one of the key points of having a build this powerful, is so that way I have my main streaming rig, and now this will be the gaming monster.
Yeah, this is definitely.
So that way I can finally run, like, because a game like Battlefield 2042 is going to be very PC intensive.
And this is just in time for the beta, too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go ahead and peel this first. We'll let you peel that.
Okay.
Little peel, so the screen is officially done. That's officially hooked up. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now what you're going to do here
Oh boy.
is this is just going to sit down, go right into here, and then it's going to fit inside the slot. So I'll just kind of get it started here, and then I'll let you push it in. There you go. And then you just push it down.
Boom. Easy.
Nice.
I'm less
simple,
intimidated now because I've been plugging a lot of holes and screwing.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling more confident.
There's a lot to go. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is see these 2 screws. You're going to screw them in down here at the end. I'm going to hold this up. While you're doing that, I'm going to grab one of these things. So you're going to see these little down here. No, they're up here. See those 2 holes? You're gonna screw into that, yeah.
So we're using our big boy here.
Yeah, you're going to use Excalibur. I'm going to clean off this screen. I got some smudges on it. Ooh, so much. Look at that. Oh, so pretty.
Oh yeah. Now what's that going to display?
It shows, like, you can have it display like temp, you can have it display GIFs, you can have it display all sorts of stuff.
What do you think would be the smartest thing to have?
They also have probably your face. So
Oh my goodness.
So
I feel like temperature would be important, right?
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, but you can also you'll also be able to show temperature up there for your CPU. So there's a bunch of cool stuff. So.
All right, and then where are those 2 open slots right there?
Yep. Right. Oops. Yeah, this is the one thing that's tough about this screw. Like sometimes those
very heavy.
Yeah, and it doesn't quite. You get it in there. I wonder if this one's a little bit more.
Oh.
Yeah, let me see. Let's see if we can do it. Sometimes you can do it with your thumb. Try this one. Yeah, there you go. That one seems better. There, go ahead. Good to go. Unfortunately, Excalibur failed us. Excalibur, how dare you? Don't drop it. Somebody says, Scorekeeper says drop it. No, that's terrible. Scorekeeper, when I build your PC, would you like it if I dropped your GPU? That'd be terrible. You'd be super mad. There is sold short. There is NOS in this build. It's called overclocking, and we could totally NOS this build up. Oh no, I meant the screw.
And then right there.
Yep, right there. If Excalibur failed, you're not worthy. That's what people said.
Oh boy, I can make it work. This is a worthy thing. I'm gonna make it work.
You guys remember we were gonna finish this build in 3 hours. Now it's gonna be 10 hours.
This is like when Cap first tried lifting Molineer.
Yeah.
And he wasn't worthy off the rip, but then like towards the end of Endgame, spoilers, he was able to finally do it. Nope. No, it's not me. This is a weak tip. This is a weak tip. You can't handle the brute force of that screw.
Okay, I'm gonna grab. Luckily, we have this one right here.
What is that one?
So this is my iFixit. So we grab this, and we grab this.
Oh, it's like a magnetic extendo.
Boom.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now here? I'm gonna try.
All right,
We have to show Excalibur is gonna It's gonna get useful. So.
Oh, look at you guiding that in with your finger. Okay. Okay.
No, I just had to make it worthy.
Yeah.
You had to make it worthy.
I was going willy-nilly free balling there. You're like, I'm just gonna guide it in.
There you go. Just guide it in. There it is. So now it's in. Now what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna throw in all our cable extensions. So you chose. He had a choice, ladies and gentlemen, and he went with red. So this is the color of his cable extensions, which is I think is gonna add a little bit of a pop here to the whole thing. So look at that. We got both the red, all the red cable stuff here.
I like the blue, but the blue just seemed kind of dark. You know, whereas the red seems like, yeah, it's gonna pop a bit.
Okay, so there we go.
So what do these do?
So these are just to make it look good.
Oh.
They're literally just to add color, pop, and just overall bring up the.
Are they necessary?
No. You could do it, but again, then you're using just the stock. You're using just the stock ones, and
we don't want to do that.
That's just disappointing. That's just disappointing. Okay, so here we're gonna grab. Luckily, okay. So first one we're gonna grab is this.
These kind of look like Twizzlers a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. They got a little bit. They got a little bit of a Twizzler vibe.
Speaking of Twizzlers,
oh really? This is a good
segue here. One of my community members, Miss Ann, she sent me candy for my birthday.
Okay.
And so I have a box of candy sitting in my gaming room. One of them was a bag of Twizzlers. I found out yesterday that our puppy ate the whole thing of Twizzlers.
Oh no!
And yeah, she went to town.
Is the puppy okay?
Oh, the puppy's okay.
Okay. The Twizzlers are not.
Twizzlers are gone, and Brittany is not happy about the puppy's mess.
Oh,
She's been cleaning up Twizzler smelling puke.
Oh, that's
She's like, I don't like Twizzlers, and now I have to clean up doggy puke that smells like Twizzlers.
So it's like double. And the thing is like you're here in LA going, I'm sorry, I'm not.
Yeah,
there.
I was on the phone with her, like sitting in bed, and she's like, oh, I gotta clean up puke, and I'm just like surfing the channels. And I'm like, yeah, that really sucks. Yeah. And I'm just like browsing for movies on like HBO and Showtime. She's like, oh, she did it again. And I was like, man, that's awful. That's so awful. I'm just like scrolling my phone. I'm like, ah.
She's like watching right now going like, oh, you wait. Oh, you wait.
I do this on purpose sometimes. She knows I like to instigate. The common theme with the chat is like, oh, Covent's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Yeah.
That's the common theme.
And it comes up a lot.
No, it comes up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys cross stream a lot?
No, not very often. I love just talking to chat.
Right.
So it's really hard for me to play a game with other streamers. So like her and I can play, we've played, one of the best games her and I played together and streamed together was Grounded.
Right.
Because it's a survival game.
Right.
And so you can feed off each other. But like when it comes to like a competitive shooter, I want to slay out, but I want to talk to chat.
Right.
So it's really hard for me to have another streamer in the background because I'm just going.
Okay.
You know, we're talking about Ted Lasso, we're talking about Marvel's What If, we're talking about new games, and so it's really hard for me to balance that. So I usually don't play with other streamers.
Okay.
It's usually when I game, I'll grab someone from the community, or I'll just play with randoms.
What is I've also noticed. Okay, so you're going to pop that right in there. I'm just basically making. So this is going to go right up here, and this is where we're going to start adding a little bit of pops of color. So that's going to go right up there.
And what was your question?
What are some of the what have you had those moments where you've you thought that you did pretty good in terms of choosing somebody to basically play a game with, and then or like a community member, and then they were like this person is terrible.
Oh my God.
What's like one of the
Every single day. Every single day. Someone in the chat's like, hey, can I play this game with you? And I'm like, yeah, you warmed up, you ready to go? They're like, yeah. And then we throw in a game of Apex and they die so fast. And I'm just like, I don't want to get frustrated, you know, because they're a community member. And I'm like, oh, don't worry, we'll get them next time. And then I get them in again, they die really fast. And then we'll finally get to the end, fight, and we'll win. And I'll have 3K damage, and they'll have 100 damage and 300 damage. But we have a very fun chat. We poke fun of each other. And they'll be like, oh, so-and-so, you suck. But then we love them. We're like, but I still love you.
Right.
But
that's
yes.
going to be mostly this game today, right? You know that, right?
Splitgate?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're going to pick it up quicker than you think.
Given how well I've picked up everything else, I hope so.
It's going to remind you, the reason why I latched onto it for the month of, I literally, August was when I grinded this. And I latched onto it because Splitgate felt like Halo 3 again.
Right.
You know, yes, there's a Portal aspect to it, but for me, it was just sitting back with a precision weapon and just bop, 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 dead. And it felt good. It felt like home.
Right.
But
Okay.
then when you play ranked, I don't recommend ranked if you actually want to, it's very sweaty.
Yeah.
You're playing against cracked out kids that are just
really
really good.
Yeah, really good. Okay, next one that we're going to do here, and I'm going to have you install this.
Okay.
So, and by the way, code 7, guys, is Splitgate. Dude, we're on point with these, leads. So I'm going to show you how to install
We're just transitioning so well without being...
we're not even doing it on purpose. That's the best thing about it. Because so you can see here what I'm doing is you're popping each one of these.
So why are you doing this?
This is to basically separate. These are called cable combs. They separate them out to make them look nice and clean.
Okay.
So this is
why all aesthetic.
This is all aesthetic.
Okay.
But you're here to make your PC look good.
Yeah. I mean, for
that's
sure.
what you want, right?
Yeah, and that way, I mean,
that way
I can take lots of photos.
Yeah, it's
and
Insta, dude. It's
Instagram
all about Insta
and tweets and stories. Lots of Snap and Instagram stories.
So what you're gonna do here?
Okay.
Whoops. So we're gonna pick that up. And you're gonna take these, and again, you want to make sure see how it says Asia Horse on them? So you're going to want to make sure you're going to put these other ones on. Now I'll tell you, the secret to this is to do them above, like this. So make sure the Asia Horse is the right direction. And then you want to basically do this. You can just basically start pushing it in. And if you do it above and then push it down, it goes in a whole lot easier. So like that. So I'm going to have you do the other ones. It starts to hurt your hands after a while.
Yeah, you gotta shove it doesn't seem like these are big fittings.
No, but you want them to do that because it makes the whole thing look good. Okay, so there you go. I'm gonna hand you these, and then I'm gonna do the GPU ones while you're doing that, and just make sure the labels are up.
So am I doing it down here?
You're gonna go all the way. Just keep them all at the top.
Okay.
Then while
we're gonna slide them down.
Yep.
Okay.
Then while he's doing that, I'm gonna do the same thing here for these others. And these are for the GPU. Now, people are going to say, hey, we're going to cover we're actually going to cover the screen. We will not be covering the screen, guys. The way it'll work is the screen's on the right-hand side here, so you won't see the screen get covered. So, as we basically do this, and I just didn't follow my own rules and put the little horses, man. It's like I forget about the horses and then I put it on backwards. I'm like, no. And they're not fun to take off once you get them on. Okay. So we're gonna put some of these on, and then once we get these on, we'll get it installed. So you and I watch a show that we really really
yes.
like.
I've
And
been
that
waiting to
is
talk
that's
about
what we've
this.
been waiting to talk about. I was waiting until like we were getting near the end, and it's
Yeah.
like we're at a climactic moment. The GPU is getting installed. Let's talk about Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah.
So I'd love to see, raise a hands in the chat. Raise a hands in the chat. Who is watching Ted Lasso? I know we actually I know a lot of people in my subscriber chat were talking about it. Who's watching Ted Lasso? Because if you're not watching Ted Lasso, what would you recommend?
Oh God, you have to. You have to start watching.
You have to
it.
watch Ted Lasso. So what is it that you like so much about Ted Lasso?
I mean, it's a show. It's actually made me shed a couple tears. Like,
Okay.
So if you don't know what Ted Lasso is, it's the story of basically an American college football coach. And he's like the best, right? They paint him to be the best. He takes his team to championships. He's #1. He's very motivational. And so the way the show is that he's not coaching football anymore. He gets flown out to coach soccer, which, I mean, will you call football? And so he gets flown across, and so the show blows your mind because you think, oh, okay, American football coach teaching soccer in England. Okay, I can see how this can go wrong. But he like changes everybody's life.
Yeah.
And he makes everybody's life better around them. And it's Jason Sudeikis. And like he's comedically funny, but also he's so happy-go-lucky. He's always smiling. He's always looking at the big picture, and like he ends up turning these people that hate him in this town that hates him to love him. And
it's not like he's being manipulative about it. It's
No.
just I think you said it's like you said. I think there was something you said earlier when we were talking about it. It's not a show about. It's actually not a humorous show. It is. I mean, it is a humorous show, but it's not a show about the funny juxtaposition of an American person teaching soccer. There is humor there, but it's actually more like you said. It's more about like overcoming adversity and all that. Yeah. So you use some great adjectives there to describe the show. Do you remember what those were?
I mean, it's inspirational. It's
Yeah.
motivational. Like just watching this character, Ted Lasso, Jason Sudeikis nails this role.
Yeah.
Because like you picture,
I think he wrote it.
did he?
Yeah, I think he's part of writing.
That would
it.
make sense.
Yeah.
Because like you picture Jason Sudeikis and he's like in Horrible Bosses. He's in that one where he takes his family down to Mexico, or his fake family, and so you just picture him as like a super comedian. And then this role, you see raw human emotion because like so.
Because the second season is nothing like the first season.
No,
so far.
nothing like it.
Yeah.
We actually just started the second season.
Have you watched the holiday episode yet?
The
It's
Christmas one?
Yeah, it's like the best
Yes.
Christmas episode.
Oh, it's so good.
It's like now on our Christmas. It's now on our Christmas. It's now on our Christmas playlist because it actually you don't have to know a lot about the show to actually really enjoy it as a holiday special, so to speak. So, but yeah, no, definitely check it out. It's one of those things that we've been talking about, and we love that show, and it's something that you and I. Both kind of share in terms of enjoying that. But yeah, I just finished the second season has been so fantastic and so different because a lot of people are like, well, the second season is going to be about, and I don't want to spoil it, but the second season is going to be about resolving what happened at the end of the first. And actually, the second season hasn't been all that much about that, very much at all. So in some regards, but not near as much as people expected. I think I left. Did I leave it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So what I do here is a nice little trick that I do to make it look nice as the end part of this. And then we'll be able to hook all this stuff up. How's it going over there?
I'm struggling here. I am struggling.
Meanwhile, I've done like 3 cables.
Yeah, I mean, I got one of them real nice, but like, I have a couple strands that just don't want to fall in line.
Do you have 3 on there or 4?
There.
Oh, let's just do 3. Actually,
I'm doing too many?
No. I changed my mind. Like I was gonna, cause we don't need 4. I'm gonna use this one for a different purpose.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what I'm gonna have you do now? Oh, you did it upside down, dude.
What do you mean?
See how these are all.
No, that went in so smooth.
You had one rule, one job.
I just put it on there how you handed it to me. You handed it to me, and I was like, I'm putting it in the
how
hole.
many people could sit there and say, I was like, make sure the label's the right direction, but it's okay. We'll fix it.
And I think my head was cocked this way, so I mean.
Okay, we're gonna get this on here, and then we'll get.
I want to watch a pro.
Yeah, that's really what you wanted to do. Is you just wanted me to put all of these on, essentially. There we go. Once you kind of get it started, it kind of goes pretty well.
Yeah, I was like, man, this first one went so smooth. And apparently it was upside down.
That's why it went so smooth. That's always the way it works, though, right? It's like you're like, oh, that was great, and then you're like, do it again because that's wrong.
What other shows are you watching?
I'm watching, dude, believe it or not, so I was on Netflix doing the same thing you were doing, and Major Dad.
Major Dad?
It's like from like an old show from like the 90s. So like I watched that. I watch
Like Major Payne?
It's like no,
No.
it was not. It was like a 90s sitcom.
Oh,
It was
okay,
like
okay.
dude, way old. Okay, so this one what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and this is gonna go plug in right there.
Okay, the top slots?
Yeah, the big no, it's like the big there's a big
This
just
big
like
boy.
that. Yeah. Just like that. The red's a nice pop, dude. That was a good call.
Is that it?
Yeah, did it snap in?
I mean, I didn't hear a snap, but it's like...
It's snug. If it's snug, it's snug. It's in there. Okay, let's run this now. And then we're going to do our GPU ones, and then we're basically pretty much at the end here.
Oh yeah, that looks clean. Yeah, the red was a good choice.
Yeah, it's just a nice like
Well,
color.
because then the red and the black. Red and black is such a good combination.
Yep.
You know, it goes so well together.
It's like a bloody stormtrooper build. Almost. Okay, so we don't need this one. So I'm just now what I'm doing is like as we're connecting these last little cables, I can finish putting down these ties. So this one can go across here. We'll close off these little. There's that one. Holds that down. Take this one. Hold this down.
Oh yeah, that looks clean.
And then finally, this one we have a tendency to just leave alone because of just how this.
And then that's gonna plug into something, right?
Yeah, that'll
Okay.
plug into the power supply.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do here.
And that's a big power supply.
Oh yeah, that's way overkill. It's awesome.
Because you said that's not even on the market
No,
yet,
it's
right?
not even out yet. You're getting like the first.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
it's like one of the first builds. It's one of the first ones that you'll get to see. What I'm doing now is I'm going to try and get
Okay.
this thing to close. That way it hides the cables. There we go. Same thing with this one.
Does your OCD ever like take enjoyment out of this?
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
We got this a little bit wacky here. This is just a little bit of like just getting the polish right and all that sort of stuff.
So you've been asking me questions. For you, what movies have you been looking forward to? Have you caught up any?
I've watched like every one that came out this summer.
Okay.
So-
what was your favorite?
Probably, I'd say it's a tie between Fall Guy and Shang-Chi.
Free Guy?
Shang-Chi, Free Guy, sorry, Free Guy and Shang-Chi.
Oh.
Shang-Chi was so
good. Yeah.
And so really impressed with that one. And probably like one of my favorite Marvel movies, like up there with Guardians of the Galaxy, which is
Yeah,
like
it's
one
the
of
top 5 for me.
Yeah, top 5 for me for sure. And so ended up watching that and then ended up taking my parents like the next day. I was like, you need to see this movie.
Did you see it in IMAX?
I saw it in Dolby.
Dolby,
at the
okay. Is
which
that
was
with the big leather chairs? And
yeah, because I like the other thing too is one of the things I like about Dolby is the blacks because
Yeah,
that's one of the
yeah.
things. It's like OLEDs, and so the blacks is just and it's got Atmos and all that other stuff.
Yep.
So I think it's funny because like I think we're getting to the point where movies are getting a little ridiculous in terms of the number of formats that people have to deal with. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping like then we'll have like the Dolby Atmos IMAX experience.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
the Dolby,
that'd be amazing.
Dolby Atmos VR Atmos, whatever thing goes from there or whatever
I
it is.
don't know if I'd want VR.
Oh, I think I'm just being
Facetious,
facetious in terms of it's just like there's like 50,000 different like format things.
Like as a glasses wearer, the whole 3D wave that was whooshing over the like mid to late 2000s,
Oh.
like it was cool, but like as a glasses guy, it was not fun.
it's like it's the same one as like the 60 FPS thing. I don't remember if you remember that, but that was like another one that was like a train wreck. Where movies like because it was going so fast, you could see through the visual effects. Like they did The Hobbit with it and stuff like that. It was like I'm glad that one died too. So okay, that's done, and we can't see any red on the front, which is what I was trying to do outside of just where it's supposed to be. Which is what I'm trying to make sure. Okay, so last 3 cables, and then we'll do our PSU.
Okay.
So I'm going to run this at the bottom. And what essentially this does is this is just to keep the these cables stuck together. It's a nice little trick that I've learned. That still gives you like it still looks nice, but you can't because this is gonna have a little one hanging out, but it'll still look.
It looks nice. I mean, because you're grouping different bundles into essentially one big bundle.
Yep, and then it keeps it so that way they're all kind of fitted together. Usually I only do this with 8 pins. We will have like a little one out there. What I'll probably do later is what you can do is break off one more, and then it'll all be gone.
Okay.
But for now, for the show, it'll be good. And we'll see how it looks when it's all said and done. Okay, so there's all your cables. We're gonna pull this down, pull this up.
And I'm so happy I went with red.
Yeah, I think red was a good choice. Okay, so these are gonna plug into these little 3 slots right here.
Okay.
So you wanna plug them in. There we go. This is just to power this beast of a GPU. Yeah, you might have to connect it together and stuff like that as you go through this. Chat, what do you guys think of the red? You guys like the red? Yeah. So just being weird. Let me see. Sometimes this gets this way. Okay,
it's nice when I see you struggle a little bit because coming on here, you're like, oh man, he's the PC guru. And then you come in here and you're like, okay, I'm struggling a little bit. And you're like, okay, it's not just me.
Yeah, you just gotta scoot it over. It's just gotta be on the edge. So you just gotta, because the one thing is these have to stay this size.
Yeah.
And it just goes in there like that. It's also getting the right angle. There it is. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, so we've got that, so we'll stick this all down here. Oh, I forgot. That's right, they have this.
Okay.
You may not need this.
Oh, and you're threading it through?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I'm actually going to take this because I don't need it. Well, actually probably.
So is there going to be something underneath here?
Yeah, the power. Well, what do you mean underneath where?
Well, the power supply I thought went here. Power supply is going to be here?
No, the power supply is, no, there's nothing there.
So, because that's a big GPU and that's just held up by a couple screws.
Yep.
Oh God, that's scary.
Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna create
it's like a big dude,
like
just
a waterfall pattern.
Flopping in the wind.
And what I'm gonna do, actually what might be a bad idea, good idea, push this down a little bit more and get that underneath. Talking to myself as we get this build.
It's a sign of intelligence.
There we go.
The slight mumbling to yourself.
Yeah, because it's like when problem solving the look here. There we go. And then I don't want this, because I don't, and the other thing too is the fact that this will hang out a little bit is actually keeping that locked in. There you go.
Okay.
And then now we'll create a little waterfall pattern with your cable extensions. So it looks like it's kind of moving. And again, it's not blocking the screen. I know a lot of people are like, it's blocking the screen. It's not blocking the screen.
No, there's plenty of room for the screen. But I mean, there's so many screens on this build. You're gonna have that screen for the cooler, the screen for the GPU, and the screen for the power supply?
Yep. Yep, that's all the screens. Okay, let's see here. And then now it's just about getting them even. So they're like spaced out in the right way.
This is where the meticulousness comes from.
Yep. It'll be good for the picture too. There we go. Okay guys, there's the top-down view.
Clean.
And it looks nice and clean. And again, you've got like that nice L, and then again, you can see the screen here just fine. Okay, so everything, this is what your build looks like from the front. Like that is it, it's done.
Yeah.
So we just gotta flip it over and put in our PSU, and then you're done. So I'm gonna put these in here. And then if you wanna grab your plate, your PSU, which is your power supply unit. There you go. Unreleased, brand new.
Unreleased.
Mod Monday exclusive.
Exclusive.
Exclusive. Mod Monday exclusive.
World premiere.
World premiere.
World premiere.
There it is. You're doing a world premiere of this PSU. Go ahead and pop it down and let's open it up. This is an 80 plus platinum.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is like a crazy, and it's got like a ridiculous, oh wow, it's like, oh, I'm not even used to that. It's like pops out. So much power. Itty bitty living space. Okay, there we go. Good. Let's let you unbox it. I don't know why I'm taking over for you. You're so good at this. Look at that. Okay, we'll take this.
It's always the anticipation of a slow unbox.
Yeah, that's like, okay, so this is your power. That's your power.
Okay, what's in this bag here?
Thick boy. That's all your cables.
Okay.
Okay. And then here is the actual unit right here. Now you have to do, there's an important part of this,
Okay.
which is the sniff test.
A sniff test?
Yeah, you got to smell it.
Who started the sniff test?
It's important. Who cares? You're gonna smell it.
Did you start?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's actually not bad. That was.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. We're trying to get Yankee Candle to let us make a new smell new smell PSU.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, it's like the ozone. It
Amazing.
honestly it opens my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you got peels on here, buddy.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, peels. I can see clearly now. There we go.
I gotta get the.
That's a nice PSU. It's a nice looking PSU. Look at that. Oh. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Caution.
Okay.
What does it say? Caution, don't put over your face.
Does that really say
No, it
that?
doesn't say that.
Oh, my God.
Okay, you got to peel there. It's going to be there. Pull the blue tab.
Oh.
These can be like 50-50 in terms of whether this comes off.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Yeah, you're going to have to do it with your fingernails.
Oh, that's you.
Okay.
I have no nails.
I have no nails either. This is going really well, but I got little nails. Here we go. There we go. Oh, here it is, guys. Okay, I guess
that was
that's
a little
one.
guy.
That was one part of it. I gotta get the other part of it. Okay, here we go. One more. Here it is. Ooh,
Oh, that was good.
that was good.
That was
a
real
good. That was,
good.
oh my gosh, super polished.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I think we got one more peel, which is right here. There it is, the AORUS.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Wow, that's a nice looking PSU, dude. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to hook up all of the cables we need. So we can get that
Okay.
out of the way. Put it inside the box again. And oh, this actually also can use USB. Interesting. I guess we'll add that. Probably need to, so we'll get that plugged in. Good to know. Okay, so we'll need, this is, oh, that's for double. Wow, these are like extra capacitors on them. I'm hoping they have some single ones though. Nope. Hopefully, yes.
So yeah, this is what's really cool about this to me is regardless of me being one of the first people to use this, you get to be one of the first people to set something like this
Yeah,
up.
this is actually
and
pretty
that's
cool.
I get to watch that, like you get a little giddy about this.
Oh, I
Because you
love-
build stuff like this,
Oh, yeah.
but this is like a first for you.
Yeah, I've never got to do this before.
This is cool.
Yeah, this is like, well, this whole thing's cool. Doing
Yeah,
this
and you're
is
like
cool.
inspecting all this, like okay.
Okay,
what comes with it?
there's your SATA.
Okay.
I think we'll only need one. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in two because you have one that's all the way on the other side, and we have a hard drive, so we're gonna give it just a little bit of room so that way we can do some pretty cable management if we need to. So there's two of those. Don't need that one. This is, oh good, they did give you a couple. This is a PCIe. Does this one have a 3 and a 4? Oh, this one does too. Okay, cool, I think. Yes, okay. Hopefully we have two. I'm hoping there's two of these, so we're gonna look for one more of those. Yes, okay, cool. So we're gonna go, if you wanna go and untwisty tie that, that'd be great. Okay, these I can put away. There's that one. There we go. Now all we need is CPU. We don't need that. Molex, ew. Molex, ew. Okay, oops. There's your motherboard.
Okay.
This is your big, this is like what powers, okay, this one's just kind of go a little faster. There you go. Motherboard, and then now we have CPU, which is right here. Okay, there's all the cables we need.
Okay.
Which is a
Holy
lot.
cow.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a lot of cables.
It's a lot of cables. So, okay, there's that. Molex.
Good, you were just telling me how much you love plugging in cables.
I do. I mean, this is like, and you're actually, most of these, once we kind of get them routed, you'll plug in most of this stuff. Okay, so this one actually uses a USB, which is kind of neat. And I think this is because you can probably control what goes on the screen. So we're going to get that installed too. So here's your USB first.
Okay.
That's going to go right here. And then this is these are all your GPU ones, so like plugging in your GPUs. So this is like you have 3 that you have to worry about for this. Oh, they didn't give you, okay, so there's 2. It's just extra cables. I was hoping they gave you a couple, but they didn't. There's 3, and then we have our SATA, which is our peripheral stuff. So we have 1 right here. And then we have, this is our CPU. So that's gonna go right here. There we go. And then you've got 1 more SATA, just because I think we may need it.
So when you're building a PC, how often do people in your chat test you?
Not very often. I mean, I like, it's interesting. Like when I do it solo, obviously I'm kind of like you. I spend a lot more time looking at the chat, right?
Gabbing
but
with the
versus,
chat,
but here it's like I can gab with you.
Yeah.
So it's just, it makes it, not that I don't love you, chat. I do love you.
It's a completely different experience when you're not interacting with them and they're just watching you.
Yeah, and so it's like, and I much prefer. I'm kind of like you. I'd much prefer to get to be able to chat with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this PSU. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do now is we're gonna take this off.
Like to me, this is like almost overwhelming, just the sheer amount of cables that are coming out the back.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that like this, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hand you these.
Okay.
We're gonna give you Excalibur one more time.
Oh boy.
And then I'm gonna hold. You're gonna basically screw those into, see those 4 holes?
Oh, I'm taking some here? Okay.
Yeah. You just need 4.
And do they always just give you excess?
Sometimes, yeah, but not all. Actually, not very often. So it's weird to see more than that. But
I learned building a lot of IKEA furniture this past year that they don't give you excess.
No,
and so you need to use, because I was like, man, I have a lot of leftover screws, and Brittany was like, no, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, something's wrong.
So be careful on my desk.
Yeah, so don't tighten it all the way. Like just get it in started. There you go, perfect. And then go ahead and put the other 4 in, the other 3 in. The other one's gonna go down here. And this is just to make sure that because sometimes if you tighten it, like they won't all sit in. See, look at you with Excalibur. You learned. You got to guide the screw.
Yeah, you got to guide it.
That one in. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, now you can tighten them.
Okay.
Okay, and code 8, by the way, guys, is AORUS Water Force, which is the AIO that we just installed earlier. So AORUS Water Force, again, that really cool screen. By the way, we might turn it on, by the way, and it might be rotated the wrong direction. Don't worry, you can change that in software. So if you see that, I know people are going to say something anyway, but a lot of times with some of these larger like water blocks and stuff like that on these AIOs, sometimes you have to rotate them whichever way because to make sure that the screen, that all the cables fit. And then, okay, we're just going to clean this off real quick and get this in there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's move this into the middle. Actually, we're going to put this up now, like this. Okay, and we're taking this giant thing of screws, this giant thing of cables. I'm going to start threading them through. If you can grab them from the other side, just start pulling them through and all the way through, just like that. Just pull them all the way out here. Yeah.
Oh, to the rear.
Yeah,
okay.
to the rear. Okay, we're just going to slide that right in like this. You got that nice mirror finish over there now. There's that. Take our Excalibur. There we go. How's that look?
Looking pretty good.
Ooh, look at that. It looks nice over here. You should go check that out before we tip it down.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Yeah, that looks real nice.
That looks super clean. Okay, now we're gonna sit it down and start hooking all this stuff up. And then, but before I do that, I'm gonna take this one cable. So remember here, I'm gonna hook this up real quick. This is just gonna be one of those interesting, didn't know this was a thing, but we're gonna get it hooked up. So this is gonna come in. And then it's gonna go right. I'm gonna kind of do this blind here.
This is the years of expertise right here.
Maybe.
The blind insertion.
Yeah. Hopefully I choose it the right way. Okay, I'm gonna have to flip this down. Okay, and that goes like this. This is like it kept rotating in my hand, which is hard. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, that was like just a random, is you don't usually have a USB cable with your power supply, and so it was like, oh, hey, that makes sense. We have a screen that's installed now.
Oh, that was what the...
Yeah, this is the USB for the
screen.
For the screens.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is just push this down like that. Actually, put it all the way under. This will kind of clean this up. There we go. And we can,
Very nice, very
there you
nice.
go. You're good there. Okay, so
Okay.
now let's get our cables, last of the cables. So this is your CPU. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this is gonna go,
And how can you tell? Oh, it's labeled, duh.
yeah.
I was like, man, you're so good at looking at the prongs and knowing.
Well, I did know because it's split. See how it's split this way?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the only CPU cable does
Okay.
that. So this is gonna plug into this right here.
Okay.
There we go.
Click.
Perfect.
Nice.
Okay, so it's gonna go right there. And this is gonna go down like this. And we're good. Okay,
And all of this right here, is this for cable management?
that's for SATA SSDs.
Okay.
Which you just don't have any. You have just the one, this big hard drive down here, but you don't have any of the other hard drives. Okay, so this is your, okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take your SATA cables, and you've got a couple kind of things that we have to plug into this. We have one, which I'm glad we did this. So we have this one and this one. So, oh, that's not SATA. This is SATA right here. So we're gonna take this. It's really long. We're gonna plug this into that.
Okay.
So just right there. So there's an L and an L. Push, push. There you go. Okay. That's gonna go right here. And what we'll do, go ahead and run this underneath. Just keep it clean. There you go.
Okay.
And this, we actually do have room here, so we'll see. So take this one. And then down here, you also I'm just gonna plug this one in. It's a little wacky.
Yeah, yeah. I'll watch you do this one.
This is your
This
hard
is
drive.
Luke watching Yoda lift the X-Wing out of the water.
Yep, a little bit. Except for he missed the X-Wing altogether and didn't plug it into anything. It's just weird sometimes how these cables have to rotate, but there we go. Okay, so there's that. So is this so how much is this like the one that you saw you guys built with your friend Steve? Is this like way more complicated?
Oh my God,
Okay.
drastically. Yeah, when we built it, there was, honestly, it was like a couple quarts, tops.
And you're we're done.
Yeah, it was so easy. It was like literally a 30-minute build. It was just like, I remember specifically, slotting the CPU and then very basic GPU in it, because this was like 2016,
Right.
So probably a 1000 series card. and very few cords, very small power supply, very small motherboard, because like budget, you know? This is my very first streaming PC. And yeah, very few cords compared to this. No RGB.
Right.
So no RGB.
And that wasn't really that like back then. That probably wasn't as big of a thing, or was it? Like, yeah.
I mean, very minimal. You know, very minimal RGB. And if there back then, I feel like the RGB was kind of. I had a 980.
Right.
And then yeah, my RGB would be like something you attach separately on your own.
Right. Yeah. That was I remember that. I was just trying to picture that build, so to speak, which is always cool. It's always fun. Okay, so we did not need this other SATA at all. So, which is always a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and, if we ever need to do expansions or stuff like that, so I'm just going to cable manage this.
So are there extra cords here?
There is one.
Okay.
And it's an extra one.
So what would we use it for?
Well, if you ever added more hard drives.
Would we need to do that? Like, because we could just delete?
You could. I mean, you don't need to. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cable manage it and then put it down at the bottom. So should you ever need it, or like you come in and you're like, hey, sometimes you're like, I want to add RGB, I want to add something. This is SATA ends up being a large part of that, and all your other SATA are kind of taken. So if you wanted to do that, we have the ability.
I'm a simple guy, you know. I like light RGB. I don't need simple things, like, I don't know, like very simple watch.
Right.
You know, everything, I think simple is classy. You know?
This is like, it's just here. It's okay. We got it plugged in, and just gonna zip tie it and put it away, store it in there. So it's easy thing to put it kind of hide. So, okay, there's that one. So we don't need that, and that's now hidden. Okay, now let's take these are all of our GPU. It's just so big, these GPU ones. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of that. There's your SATA. Now we're gonna try and use this to kind of create a little bit of a wave here.
Okay.
So these right here. So you're gonna take these.
Okay.
You're gonna plug them into these.
Oh boy.
So there's the 3-pin.
Okay.
Right here.
Here we go.
Let's grab, actually might do this one for the 3-pin. Okay, here we go. You gotta unslip this here. It's always the fun part. There it is. Okay. So that is gonna plug into this.
Which one? This one?
Nope, the 3-pin.
Okay.
You're gonna grab and kind of. There we go. This is it, guys. These are we're on the last 2 connections until this PC's done. There's these, and then basically your motherboard, and then that's it.
Does it click? Oh, I think it's in there.
I think it's in, yeah. That should be it. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, next one is this one, and this one's gonna go into this one right here. So again, same thing. That one's gonna go into there, 4-pin. You might want to grab that for me because there we go. Let's see. No. You had it right. It's just being finicky because I didn't have a lot of pressure on it. Okay, there's that one.
Here we go.
Last one.
So what's this guy?
That is, that's just like it looks like it's a drain, capacitor drain for these cables.
Interesting.
I mean, these are massive. This is a massive power supply.
Yeah, I've never seen these little,
I haven't either.
little
it's
doohickeys here.
Yeah, so I'm like, I was like
Little
surprised
alien
too.
dude just-
I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I think they're for. Okay, so there's that. Okay, last cable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these cable managed, which is always like a pain. These are very long, thick cables. Okay. And we don't want to create, you want to create just enough pressure. This is like, it's hard, this is the hardest part to always make look good.
Just what happens if you do too much pressure?
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to not make these bend.
Yeah.
Not because of it, it's just because it'll make the cables in the front look terrible.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's why I'm doing it this way. So I do this. And then you basically, from here, you basically pop them in, and so you can kind of hide it.
Oh, okay.
This is all it's for. Okay, one more.
Oh.
Oops, never mind, not that one. Sometimes the cable manager, the cable tie is like, nope, I don't want to be used yet. I'm ready for the next build, whatever that is. Okay. So there we go. That's ready. So for people who don't know, the next build, what we're going to do after this is not the end. When we turn this on, we're not done. I mean, the build is done, but then I get to go into Covent's world, and we get to go play some games. So that's the next part after this. So once we're done here, we have another part, and that's coming up. Okay, so now, and so we're going to be playing Splitgate. Think of banana split. So the reason that he's correcting me is because I've literally said it wrong almost the whole night.
Splitgate would be a cool game too.
It would be cool. I mean,
You
maybe
have to
that's
slip through tiny little slits.
Yeah.
Like
Like that. Remember those? Like what was that? Like Double Dare or whatever it was, where you had to make the shape as the door was coming through.
oh yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Was that Nickelodeon?
Yeah, it was like Nickelodeon. Yeah.
And then they like turned it into an adult show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now I don't know what they
They had
do.
to like make a triangle.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It was like, yeah, remember, because there was like Double Dare, and then there was Family Double Dare, and then they were like, you know what, screw kids, let's just make it our own thing.
Did you know?
Oh, Human Tetris, that's what I'm being told.
They're bringing back Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Really?
Yeah, that's making a big comeback.
Oh.
They brought back Fear Factor.
Yeah, I did know that one.
Yep.
Okay. So this is the last cable.
Okay.
That's going to plug into that.
Okay. This is the final cable.
This is the final cable.
Ooh, these. Ooh.
This is the, like, I always try to save this one for last because it's like the end.
Okay, line them up. Oh, hold on. It's a little finicky.
Yeah.
Because this.
Yeah, it just takes some finagling. And sometimes it can be really hard.
Trying to line up the holes here.
We had this problem like not that long ago, and I had to like basically physically force it in. This might be in the same boat.
Yeah, I got like, oh, there we go.
Got it? Push, push. That should be it.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Now we just push everything down. There we go. Okay. There is our build. The build is 100% done. Came out very clean. Okay, so if you want to grab, the white back, so not that, so you can put that right there actually. That'll work. And then underneath the tempered glass here.
Oh.
So if you want to take the tempered glass off, then yeah, go ahead and move that over to the side. Just slide that over to the side. Okay, and hand me that. Okay. Always a sign of a good build is when it just
Slides in.
slides in.
Yeah. Effortless.
Okay. Okay, now lift this up. Just make sure all our cables are good. Yeah, that looks so good. Those waterfalls there, which actually look really nice. Okay, now let's grab, I'm gonna take that right there, and then that pops onto the front. Just snaps right on.
This?
Yep. Just flip it over. Sorry, flip it over. There you go. It just snaps right on there.
Oh man, that's sleek.
There it is.
Ooh. Oh, they can see it from that angle. Oh, that's nice.
And there you go. Your build is just putting our screwdriver away. And then now what we can do is if you want to grab, oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, big boy.
Put the Excalibur away.
Okay. Still have our tempered glass.
Yep. Tempered glass we'll do last after we
Okay.
turn it on. Okay. And the build is done. I'm gonna turn this around real quick before I turn it on. It's just a little bit wacky. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's grab our power cable, which we should have right here. Ugh. Oops. Oh, that's good. And just push the power button, buddy.
This guy?
Yep.
Ready?
Yep. And there it is.
Oh, all the screens.
Yeah, all the screens are on. We still don't have it. It looks like RGB. I must not. There must be some RGB. Oh no,
There
right,
it
no,
is.
there it is.
It's
There
taking
it is.
a second?
Just taking a second as
Oh,
the AORUS.
yeah.
There it is. Oh, now it's going to do its reset. Ooh, but the USB, the screen isn't showing up for the, so the screen isn't showing up on the AIO. Definitely got, that screen at the bottom is huge.
Yeah, that screen at the bottom is huge.
Look at that. Oh, never mind, the screen on the AIO is on. Look at all those screens.
There's so much going on. Oh my gosh, amazing. Wow.
And that's going to do one more. And there it is. We're gonna have to rotate the screen on, obviously on the AIO side, but yeah, there it is. We still, it looks like some of the, I might have to reconnect some of the RGB on the front fans, but that's an easy fix. And there it is, guys. The build is done. Yeah, we're gonna have to rotate that screen in software for sure.
This one, right?
Yeah, the AIO screen. So that's an easy, but yep. And getting from there, and yeah, but it looks like we have some of the RGB, like the bottom one is in, so I just haven't daisy chained it the right way. So, which is an easy fix, but yeah, everything else looks good. Let's do the peel though. Let's do the peel. Okay, I'm gonna peel the back off because that's not important. There we go. And then we're gonna have you do the main peel from the front. Okay, here we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, so if you want to head over there, over to the other side, and then you're going to start in the corner.
This corner?
Yeah, right there. Yep, and then just slowly peel. There it is.
Ooh.
And that is an absolutely beautiful looking PC. It's funny because you got the orange light right now from the AORUS, which, I mean, again, some simple fixes there to fix that. But again, that rotation is going to look really, like the whole thing just looks really, really nice. So
I'm so excited.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
Thank
dude.
you guys so much.
Okay, guys, well, what we're going to do now is we're basically going to, and again, we know we have to fix these two, just some of the RGBs not daisy chained. That's an easy fix. We will be back. We're going to be taking a 12-minute break. We're going to take a 12-minute break. Come back. We'll be back playing some games. Get back to that in just a few minutes, guys. So we will see you guys in 12 minutes and go from there. Anyway, guys, see you guys in a bit. What is up, everybody? We are back. We are live. I saw some people in chat basically saying, did he fix the RGB problems? Yes, RGB problems are fixed. The screen is rotated. Make sure you follow Intel Gaming Social. You can see the full picture there. It looks absolutely... Covent, are you happy?
I'm so excited.
So yeah, we
I'm
found
so
out
excited.
you can actually physically rotate the screen. So we physically rotated the screen. All of the fans are all lit up now. Everything looks great. It's basically good to go. But now we are playing Splitgate, which, Covent, why don't you tell us a little bit about the game?
I mean, so Splitgate originally came out a few years ago, and then it went quietly into the shadows, and then they just relaunched it with the full game recently with Xbox, PlayStation, and PC with crossplay, and it's free to play. Pretty fun. It's kind of like Halo had a baby with Portal. So you're going to see a lot of Halo-style gameplay. We're just going to be kind of just shooting our weapons cross-map and going for objectives, and then you can see Portal action.
Okay. Well, guys, for those of you who don't, so Covent's going to be playing on controller. I'm going to be playing on keyboard and mouse. So let's jump in, dude. Here we go.
All right, we're currently searching for a match right now. And cool thing about this game is there's only 4 devs, and they've made some really nice skins. All right, so just like that, we're in. TDM.
Wow.
Oh, did you take a second to get familiar with the controls?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I didn't even realize this. Okay, here we go. We're winning.
Nice. There's some pretty cool skins. They
Oh,
got, like,
wow. I already got killed.
Oh
I
yeah,
shot
you're gonna
him.
die a lot. You're
No,
gonna die
I'm not,
a lot.
I'm not supposed to ever die.
So there's shotguns, SMGs, ARs, battle rifles, snipers.
Oh, you just took one.
Yep, yep.
Ooh, I got somebody. I win. Oh, never mind. That person's already dead. Oh, geez. Oh, this map's pretty big.
Yeah, don't forget also to just occasionally use your portals to try to get behind your enemy.
Yeah, that's what I've been like looking at for like opportunities here. Here, let's watch this. Woo! Oh, that was cool. I looked really good when I did that.
Yeah, this game, what I like about it, it's a good way of, like, it makes you look good.
Yeah, I definitely looked good there. Okay, I'm trying to do some
And this is TDM, so it's first to 50.
Shoot. Oh! What the deuce? That guy I didn't even see him. It's not very nice.
So, like, we can go over here, get a little flank action on them.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
There is a mechanic also where you can close the enemy portals,
Oh, really?
so they can't just go through your portal. And if you feel like you are struggling hitting shots, you can always use the assault rifle and just kind of like spray and pray. Headshots do more damage.
I've actually been doing okay with the ADS.
And you're gonna hear like a subtle noise, like a dink. That's a headshot.
Oh, what's I need to figure out melee.
I gotta
figure. Yeah, I gotta figure it out on my. I also need to figure out how to. Okay. Oh, that was good. Woo! Oh, come on, what's melee? Dang it. Oh.
Oh
Hey, come
yeah,
on.
we're in it. We're in it.
Okay, this guy's above.
So like right there, you can see a shotgun starting to spawn.
I wish I could figure out how to. There is a melee, right?
Yeah. So for me, you can change your settings too. Like I'm running on bumper
Yeah.
jumper. Oh my god, that was sick. Oh my god. And then you can also go on kill streaks, and they got like a little cool announcer voice.
I'm just trying to figure out what the.
Can't get me.
Oh. Got to figure out. Oh yeah, dude, we're like crushing.
Oh yeah, take your time. Learn at your own pace. Have fun with it.
Oh, double kill.
Yeah, didn't that feel good?
That felt good.
It's got that classic Halo announcer style. Not as much bass in his voice though as the Master Chief guy.
Yeah. Oh, that sucked for you.
Nice.
There
Told
it
you
goes.
it's gonna be fun. We're gonna get some good kills.
I need to figure out. Yeah, that's the only thing I got to figure out is melee because that's such an important part of the game. But I'm just.
Yeah. Take a look at your keybinds real quick.
Yeah. So I got 10 kills out of that. Not bad.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, honestly, I won't even lie. It definitely.
Oh, V. Okay, thanks, guys. Blondie hooked it up.
And then you can click the back button or escape button to take a look at how you did in the lobby.
Hit the escape button.
I think that should show you your scoreboard, your post-game stats.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a 10 and all that sort of stuff.
All right, so now this is Team Shoddy Snipers. So classic mode, you get a shotgun, you get a sniper. If you're missing your snipes, just run around and shotgun everybody.
Got it. Let's do Pantheon. Sure, what up?
Yeah, Pantheon's pretty good. It's basically 2 bases across from each other with like a desert kind of mountain along the right side.
People are asking if we're playing on the PC that no, that's going to take some time to get set up, guys.
Yeah, we need an operating system on it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see what we can do here. Let's go over there.
Yeah, experiment,
Oh.
have fun.
Dang it! I walked right in when that guy saw me. Ugh, that would have been cool. Trying to find like cool.
The leader.
Ooh.
Gain the lead.
And they have a very similar metal style to like Overwatch. So when you get like enough damage, and it's like it should be your kill, you still get the kill for it.
Right.
So your buddies can't just like gank your kills, you know? Ooh.
Gain the lead.
Try and get like over to a place. Oh, right in the face, dude. That guy was like somewhere. This is gonna be a slow one.
Yeah, this mode's usually slower.
Okay, let's go kill this dude.
Oh.
Gain the lead.
Oh, gee, Mini. Can't believe I missed. Oh well. I was in for fun.
Gain the lead.
Once you hit your first nasty snipe, you're gonna be like, oh.
Killing spree.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to like I like the strategic element of this, like trying to find like places to like
Portal?
portal through.
Yeah. I mean, so you're gonna notice that you could put portals at the very top of the map, and then you can use
Wow.
physics
Yeah.
to basically just fly. And then you could do it over and over. Yeah, they're getting scared. I think they're hiding.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Oh, he got. I was. But got a knife to a gunfight on that one. Yeah, they're definitely hiding. Yeah, I'm gonna go clean up here.
But are you starting to get the Halo vibes from it?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Collection agency. Double kill. Triple kill.
Oh,
5 minutes remaining.
we're making a good lead right now. I'm liking it. You starting to feel a little bit more comfortable yet?
Oh yeah. Oh, there's 3 of them down here.
Double kill.
Oh, 3. Thank you.
Oh yeah, good teamwork.
Killed 3 on that one. One coming up behind Fire Splinter, wherever that person is.
Got him.
Killing spree. Double kill. Triple kill.
Oh, killed by Canine Police.
Uh-oh.
Jerk.
Or check your trunk.
Yeah, they better. I don't even know what that means.
Kingslayer.
Oh, he just killed the Kingslayer.
You can also like emote and taunt people.
Oh, I'll emote and taunt him when I'm better. I want them to feel comfortable with me. Oh, that sucked to be you, dude. I hope you feel better about yourself because that's what it's about. It's about happiness.
Making friends, making
That's right.
memories.
Exactly.
Pretty
Oh, how did that guy take a shot in the face?
good. Ooh,
screw you,
I got
man.
him for you. I got him.
Thanks, dude.
Cleaned him up.
I shot him in the face. And he called me. He said no.
No.
He said no. Not very nice. Oh! Canine police again.
Oh, he has got your number.
He called. If you just want to go on a date, just be nice.
Yeah, you gotta wine and dine.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of soup first. At least take me to a salad course. Man. Oh. What? I should have sniped. I think I'm getting too comfortable with shotties. I need
Yeah,
to.
I mean, it's okay. It's very, like, shoddy snipe, so use whatever you're better with.
Yeah, I think it's not that I'm better. I probably just need to try.
Hitting the nasty headshot while they're running feels real good.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh! Feels good. I haven't played this game in a good minute, so it feels good to just slay out. Oh, yeah.
Well, there we go.
Did you get some good kills?
I don't know. Oh, geez, there was 3 right there. Oh, so that was beautiful. I don't know how I did on that one. 9 kills, 4 kill streak, and 2 headshot kills. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? I did okay. I think I did okay.
For your second game ever, I think you did pretty good.
There we go. This game's pretty fun, though. This game's pretty fun.
It starts to get more fun once you start to learn like the portal mechanics and the physics.
Yeah.
And you just start doing like accidental trick plays, where
Yeah.
you just like you fall, accidentally portal, and then you're like headshot.
Somebody said they clipped some good ones, so that's good. I don't know if this holds a candle to solitaire. I'm just kidding.
All right, here you go. You're gonna love this. Team SWAT. Aim for the
Okay,
head.
what's this? Aim for the head.
Just like Halo SWAT. Aim for the head.
Okay. Yeah, you have to learn to portal, and I was doing that a lot more in the first one, and not as much as is that. Oh, I thought that guy's name was Amazon Fresh. I was like, wow.
I won't even lie. My first 2 days, I refused to portal. My first 2 days, I was just like, no, I'm gonna play this like Halo, and I'm not gonna portal.
Yeah, the
And-
portaling makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, that's how you flank, easy. Like so, right off the rip here, be
Yeah.
careful because it's gonna be a straight hallway,
3,
and
2,
we might die,
1.
Okay.
Team
or they
fight.
might die.
Aim for the head.
Oh, they're not challenging.
Lost the lead. Tied the leader. Gain the lead. Gain the lead.
Oh, that guy was behind me. Oh, I should have just sat there.
Oh,
Lost the lead. Tied the leader. Gain
Oh,
the lead.
not good.
my gosh.
Oh, there we go. That was a good one.
You can also use portals to like just kind of like look around corners without committing.
Yeah. Oh.
Double kill.
Oh yeah. Oh, hello.
Oh, how did he get you?
Yeah, he double melee'd me. Wasn't very nice.
Oh. Yeah, there's 2 of them there. That wasn't going to work very well.
Nice. Oh, we are crushing them. Oh. So I will let you know this is the one game mode I don't play.
Kill.
Oh, should have stayed still.
I've heard if you sit still enough, people might not know you're there.
Oh, got one.
Spree. Double kill. Triple kill.
Oh, dang it. I opened the wrong portal. Oh, get up there.
I actually love like listening to you kind of like learn as you go. It reminds me when I first started playing and I was just like so overwhelmed by what you could do with portals.
Oh, that sucked.
Nice.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it felt
And
good.
not what the guy was expecting at all. Oh, not good.
I think they're all hiding underneath.
Yeah, they are.
Oh shoot, here we go.
Okay.
Kingslayer.
There's one.
Oh,
Nice. Nice.
that was funny.
Kingslayer. Double kill.
Got two of them.
Spree.
Nice.
Triple kill.
Dude, they're getting. They're hiding now. They gotta be.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we're destroying them. Absolutely destroying them.
Oh, come on, get him, get him. Oh, thank you. Ugh, made me feel bad.
Game
Nice.
over.
Oh. Okay. I don't know. I think that game went better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's SWAT. So
Yeah.
you only have to hit one headshot or just a couple bodies.
I got 11 kills out of that one. That's 1/5. I mean, that feels pretty good about the number of kills, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end, it shows you like damage dealt, which can make you feel good if you feel like
Yeah.
the kills are getting taken.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm actually doing all the damage.
People are like, okay, got play 3 matches with a positive QA. I mean KDA. There we go. Are we keep continuing to play the same people, huh?
It should put us into a different lobby. It should.
Oh.
Because I mean, you could see. So you see on the right-hand side, there's like a 39, a 49.
Oh.
That's their level. And then the fireball next to it is how many days in a row they've logged in, aka their streaks.
Right.
So you could tell someone's super sweaty if they got like 30-day streaks and they're level 100. You're gonna be like, oh my god, they're gonna be really good.
But then there's me and you who have like level 3 and 4.
Yeah,
and
they have no idea. We're just undercover
Yeah.
goats.
Okay. Oh wow, this is a long wait time for this one.
Also, so normally you can play, and there's actually in-game comms where it's like the Halo 3 Modern Warfare 2 days where you can actually like talk some smack.
Okay, here we go. Oh, offer expires. Offer expires.
Ooh.
Oh,
You
my
also
daily.
Get some rewards that you can open
There we go.
drops, and those unlock
Oh.
skins. Because people
Open
love
drops.
watching skin openings.
I'm dropping something.
Are you? What are you thinking for dinner tonight? You gonna tag with us?
I think so. I don't know. I got a purple true shot.
Okay. Did you get 3 drops? Did they give you 3?
I got 2.
Okay, 2.
Oh, I got the legendary rocket launcher Dragon Bone.
What? A legendary?
Yeah, I
That's
did.
sick. Wow.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, I got more rewards, I guess. Okay, but we're good. Oh, this is like, okay.
Yeah, so you got, so that, when it says claim rewards, that's just to level up your overall level next to your name.
Got it.
So you could actually never claim those and stay a low level to like kind of be a sneaky player.
Got it.
And then, so there's casual, in which it's like fun mode, and then there's like fun modes like Team Rumble, which is like zombies, big head mode. Oh, cool. I see where they're all unlocked here. All right.
Well, guys,
Are we playing more?
okay, so we're gonna do, we're gonna do a new code. It says AORUS 17GYD is the next code coming up right now. I can't see it on screen, guys, so I believe I said that correctly. Yeah, we're gonna play some more. So that's AORUS, there it is right there. 17GYD is the next code, and that's coming up right now. Yeah, we are gonna play more, yeah. So, let's
Yeah, you're starting to get into it. You're starting to have fun.
Yeah,
You're like, okay.
yeah. So there it is, right there. It's AORUS 17GYD, which was the other laptop we showed off. So we showed off the 15-inch, which was the 15PXD, and then now we're showing off the 17GYD was the second one. That beautiful 1080p, 300 hertz monitor we showed off a little bit earlier.
Yeah, those are beautiful laptops. Do you know the retail price of those?
I do not. It's over $5.
Oh, yeah, easily. $1, Bob.
$1. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to figure out this map.
Yeah, so big towers right across from each other. And there's power weapons spawn up top where I'm at. There's a railgun top middle. There's a baseball bat, which is like a one-hit bottom middle. And this map, you can do some really cool flashy stuff too. So one thing I love doing on this map, once you get used to portaling, is just portaling and just soaring.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, is like trying to find like good fall fights. Oh, they're over there. Oh, okay. I'm gonna. Where's this guy?
Dang, we're slapping them.
Oh, God, it wasn't close enough. Actually, I had the right button.
See, that weapon's still there. Portal.
Let's get over to the
Portal.
other side.
Got the railgun. Oh.
Whoa, that's not a good idea.
So what game are you looking forward to? Any new games coming out? Because I feel like you don't get that much time to game. You're always working.
Well, now it's actually gotten a whole lot better. I'm pretty excited about. Oh, that's a good question. I am excited about Battlefield. Definitely gonna play that. I'm excited about Forza Horizon. I'm a huge Forza fan.
Yes.
So that'll be a lot of fun. And so
And it
I'm
looks
definitely,
beautiful.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Oh, where'd that guy? Oh, he's behind me. What the?
I'm chasing him with a bat.
That guy. Yeah, I was in a long distance kill. You just let the man have his moment. It's my second game. Give me my moment. Yeah, Forza Horizon. Oh, there we go. I'm trying to think. Zelda. I thought that was coming out this year. There was supposed to be a new Zelda.
Yep, new Zelda.
And then I'm trying to think what else. I think those are kind of the big ones for me. I mean, obviously Halo Infinite, but I mean, like I've actually played quite a bit of that. So let's try this one. I haven't used this one.
Oh, so you're not as excited?
Yeah, well, I've just played a ton of it. Ooh.
All right,
That
where
guy
are you?
go?
Here, take this. This is a baseball bat. I'm right here.
All right. Okay, hold on.
Yep. Also, don't forget you have a jetpack too, so you can also jump and hold.
I can.
And there's a bat. Now use it to smack this guy right around the corner.
Boom. Let's go. We're gonna go have fun with this. There's a guy below us. Where is he?
Sometimes it's a one-hit kill. Sometimes it's two.
Where is this guy?
Got him.
Got him.
Nice. Yeah, they've definitely added some goofy guns, some goofy modes to keep it so it's not just like a sweater, you know? Sometimes when games are too sweaty, it kills the casuals.
Well, I tried. Definitely wasn't my... I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe.
Election agency.
So right now I'm using a gun, a rail gun, very similar to Halo's rail gun, where you like charge and release. And it's a one-hit kill if you hit it.
Yeah, they...
So you remember how I told you that our puppy got into the Twizzlers?
Yep.
Well, Brittany actually had to take the puppy to the vet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she just got back from the vet like 10 minutes ago. Cause I was like, hey, are you live? I wanna raid you when I'm done. She's like, no, I'm at the vet. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, the puppy just wouldn't stop
there's only
puking.
so much vomit that a dog should have.
Yeah. But she took her to the vet. The vet said she's okay. She just has a really upset tummy.
Yeah,
'Cause eating too many Twizzlers, obviously.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh!
Nice. That was good. Didn't that feel good? That was a
Yeah,
good
but
one.
he still got me. Okay.
Dang, we are slapping these kids. 47 to 24. You can see in the bottom left corner our score. 49. Jeez, oh Pete's. Nice. Chi-chi. Told you we're not gonna lose. Oh yeah, you got final kill cam. Nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go. And there was last kill to wrap it up, guys. Okay, guys, we're gonna do our 10th code, which I'm gonna get one more time. Ramona. The 10th code is Ramona. So there's our 10th code right there, Ramona. Guys, that is it. I actually got more kills every game, so that's actually usually a pretty good sign.
You got better. Yeah, you got better.
Yeah, I got better as we go. So anyway, guys, this has been myself and Covent. Covent, if people want to find you, how do they find you?
I mean, well, my socials are easy. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all at Chris Covent, C-H-R-A-S, C-O-V-E-N-T, or on Twitch at Covent, C-O-V-E-N-T.
Okay.
Live 7 nights a week.
Well, that's it, guys. And then I am Justin Robey, a.k.a. Robeytech. You can find me all the time at Robeytech and then find all the different streams. Guys, this has been Intel Mod Mondays. We've built, thank you so much to Gigabyte, to Intel, and to all of you for joining us tonight. Have a great night, and we will see you guys on the next one.